Ahoy, landlubbers, it's me, your Captain Vasco speaking, and welcome back! Last week I was not streaming at all because I was in Boston to visit friends and see the Glass Cannon podcast record live, and it was great. Almost everything during the entirety of that trip went well, including the acquisition of this shirt, which of course I mirrored, but it says the King and John, and I just did a whole lengthy explanation for it, but it depicts the scary King in yellow, but also reflects how absolutely goofy the Glass Cannon podcast is, by referring to the King in yellow as the King and John. Yeah, the only thing that primarily didn't go well was flying back, because I got sat next to the one woman on the plane coughing, and we got stuck on the tarmac for like 45 minutes before we left. And now, granted, I know full well that that can go a lot worse, as it has gone worse for nearly every member of my family in the last 2 months, attempting to make long-distance flights. So, like, I'm not saying it's the worst thing that could happen, but boy, did I, personally, really not appreciate being stuck next to some stranger coughing on me for, like, nearly 7 hours. I would not choose that for me. Especially, like, post-COVID, or mid-COVID, I don't know. You describe that as you will. Oh, look, people are resubscribing. Thank you to Sarah who resubscribed before I started recording. And also to Neko and Castle Art. Welcome. Hello, everyone. You're just in time for the recap of Raincode. And as I just intimated before I started recording, there's kind of not a lot to recap. We went through a lot the last time we played the game. We got to the Mystery Labyrinth. I think we did that, like, mid-stream last time we played. But then, like, we very quickly found that, like, a major gimmick of this particular Mystery Labyrinth is this, like, three-way split. There's, like, 3 doors. And I forget exactly what the breakdown was, but it was, like, I think they were all kind of circling the drain of, like, how did the poison get on stage? To take a step further back, we are still in the middle of a case investigating effectively two murders relating to a high school drama club in the Kanai Ward. Which the Kanai Ward is basically just an isolated city upon which everything in this game takes place. And, like, we were brought to the school under the pretense of investigating one girl who died under somewhat unusual circumstances. And then, like, before we even really started investigating that, we got saddled sort of watching a dress rehearsal of the theater club at the school that girl had been a member of. And during that performance, someone else died. So we started investigating that, and I think Phoenix Wright style is going to point us toward what happened retroactively the first time. So, yeah, when we went into the Mystery Labyrinth, we were trying to basically use what evidence we have to figure out, like, how Poison got on stage and, like, who had the means to do it. And, like, the thing that was sort of confusing is we have, like, 3 major suspects, and, like, basically no one of them could have done it, but they all had to have done part of it, but not in a way that's, like, crystal clear after, like, examining it for a little while. And that kind of jives with our initial suspicions, collectively, I think. But I still don't know exactly what that looks like. I do remember that I had intentionally stopped the stream at a specific point where the game was recapping some amount of what was going on, because I started playing, I was like, nah, in 2 weeks I'm gonna want this. This'll help a little bit. Because I don't remember all of what was involved. I mean, I remember that the game established that, like, on the stage there's, like, 2 glasses, and there's a thing where both of the actresses during the play switch the glasses around, like, as part of it, that they're kind of not supposed to know which glass is where. And, like, only one of them had poison, which sort of rules out some possibilities. And then we found notes that sort of suggested that the people up in the lighting catwalk were, like, following where poison would have gone and indicated what was safe for one of the actresses in the scene to drink. Or, no, were they actually pointing her to the wrong one? I don't remember who got the notes. I think it was the dead actress who got the notes. Anyway. there's definitely going to be a little bit of extra stumbling through this, and I say that before we even take into account the fact that there will definitely be numerous reasoning death matches. And I think it's safe to say at this point in the game that as much as I like to try and not take responsibility for it, I'm just bad at them. I'm just pretty bad at them, I think. But let's get started playing that game there. Thank you to Katane also for the reset during the interval. Greeting fellow non-zombies. What a suspicious way to greet a group of people. I eat human food and not human brains, of course, myself. Why would you even ask me that? Okay, it's time to play the game. I actually don't know if continue will take me to the start of that scene that I wanted to be at the start at. Start of? Start near. Start select. What are we doing? So thank you to all participating parties for the hype train currently in progress. Hey, Demolition, you're just in time for the game, but not the recap. You missed the unhelpful recap. Now it's time for... And I think this is where I want to be. I think it was the swirly twirly gumdrop hallway where we start doing the exposition. By the way, have you missed Shinigami? I have. I hate to see her go, but I like to watch her fly away from me.
What kind of person was Karen anyway? Was she cute?
Yes, but more importantly, she was next in line to be star of the theater club. She was considered to be the best actress among the club's current members.
So the culprit was envious because she was so popular. They killed Karen so they could become the star instead.
No, I don't think it's that simple.
Hey, who are you calling simple?
You,
6
definitely.
months ago, the leading member of the theater club also died in a separate case.
Top actresses
6
dying
months? I
one
thought it was
after
more
another?
recent than that.
Is their club cursed or something?
The name of the student who died was Aiko. Her death was ruled a suicide by jumping off the school, but Kurumi doubted that was the case.
Kurumi, huh? She's alright.
All right.
Is she?
Anyway, I doubt it's a coincidence for people to die.
Everything
in
about
such
that was
quick
weird.
succession. This case may have been triggered by Aiko's death.
So if we find the truth behind Aiko's death, maybe we can figure out the motive in this case.
The truth behind Aiko's death.
Hey, it's exactly what I expected. Oh, even though we didn't reach the end of the hallway ended somehow.
Hey, look!
She's alright. Can someone translate from Desahiko to English? Because, that just seemed like a really insane thing to say at that point in the conversation. Where, her best friend was suspicious that she was murdered because she didn't have reason to commit suicide. And he's like, Kurumi Wendy, she's alright. What is that? 90s classic rom-com, she's alright? Did everyone love the swirly twirly vomit hallway? I would not want to live in that hallway. Because she's Yuma's girlfriend? Sort of? Oh, so he can't objectify her. That's an interesting read, but, I don't know. Personally, I'm skeptical that Desuhiko would draw that line? Perhaps we'll learn more. But now, I feel like that's the thing I should do, is just, instead of just sort of, making some sort of affirmative noise or gesture to indicate that I'm listening, just, repeat a random thing someone says and be like, that's alright.
Is that Aiko?
I mean, he has been pushing for the two of them, but, I've known people like Desuhiko, unfortunately, and I feel like normally they'd be like, nah, horn dog dial to max, for sure.
Whoa, she's cute too! Let's go talk to her! She's about to get a taste of my full and undivided attention.
That definitely sounds like a threat. We're just gonna leave that hallway, right? That's just how that is now.
You can already tell women will be his downfall.
I mean, it's way too late to make that observation.
Oh well, it's not like you're any better off with yours truly, Master.
Hey, Neko, you want to hear the worst of it? In middle school, my best and nearly only friend was basically Desahiko. Which, like, maybe informs a lot about me? I think it does, but only with additional context. Oh, hello? Were you waiting? Are you gonna wait here? I guess I'll go up. Okay. That's about what I expected. So I'm Yuma? Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, like, I'm pretty close to Yuma. Do you think that's not true? I feel like many of you have watched this stream for, like, at least 6 years. Several of you more than that. One of you gave birth to me. My mom's in chat, to clarify. Weird thing to say, huh? That's alright.
Was that Desahiko? What the?
Oh, this feels bad. Is this a non-stop attack or whatever? Constant attack? This looks like a constant attack. No, the stairs are just gone. Nope, and the puzzle piece floor.
This is bad. The ground's giving way beneath our feet.
Wait, why did he scream before? Yeah, apparently I've collected all of the level 3 hype train emotes. That's fun for me. Oh, now it doesn't prompt me to show it off. That's a problem. I feel like I should pick one at random, but that's fine. Delicious says, I imagine you're more assertive. I am now, but, like, in middle school, like, I was just, like, mad. I can't stress this enough. I do talk about it from time to time, but, like, the person that I was in middle school and high school, like, really sucked. Like, not, like, a cool guy at all. I don't understand why, like... I mean... I say that my Desahiko was, like, nearly my only friend. And that's, like, kind of true. There were, like, people who, like, wanted to talk to me, like, in a school setting. But, like, I didn't really want to talk to most of them. Like, I've always been, like, a pretty good, like, manipulator. For however you wish to interpret that. So, like, I've always kind of found myself in a position where people, like, want to talk to me more than I want to talk to them. But, like, I don't get that at all, because I used to be just awful. But, like, that's always been true. Yeah, I'm glad that one of the hype train emotes is that turtle guy. Congrats on getting the turtle guy castle. But, like, returning to the game for just a moment, and then we'll just say random stuff to chat again. Like, doesn't it seem weird that, like, Desahiko got to the top of the stairs that, like, collapsed behind us, but didn't affect him at all. And the floor ahead of him didn't collapse until we got up here to watch it ourselves. But he, like, shrieked, like, bloody murder a moment ago. Like, why did he do that? What did he see that we didn't see?
Yeah, I can tell.
Heiko.
Heiko!
Hey, let's hurry and catch her. I love the tragic types.
Okay, now, like, that's actually, like, pretty not chill. If he's, like... If Desahiko here is, like, legitimately referring to the fact that he finds it attractive that she's, like, suicidal because he has some awareness of the fact that that's how her cause of death was ruled, like, that's, like, not... That's not at all chill. That's, like, really not good.
No!
Also, like,
we're trying to figure out the truth behind her death.
this is really troubling, too. I know that we've seen it and been over it, but the fact that this character, like, legitimately has an idle animation that's, like, cartoonishly, like, fondling, like, I'm not, like, a huge fan.
Good luck, Master!
Okay, what bad thing is happening? Is it constant attack? I think it's constant attack. Was Aiko's death 6 months ago a suicide? No, like, definitely not. Like, this game
Heiko's
wouldn't
death
exist if
6
that was
months ago
true.
was actually a result of murder.
Of course, I don't think we actually have any evidence of this, so we're just, like, saying stuff. Which is kind of, unfortunately, how the constant attack segments work, which is why I generally think they're, like, not great. He's just playing the air piano. I think Chopin would demonstrate something else. Where was she murdered? I don't know. The flower bed? I feel like it's probably not the flower bed, but I don't know why they would ask if it was the rooftop.
The location of Aiko's murder is the flower bed.
What weapon was used to kill her? Brick? It's not brick, is it?
The brick with
Oh, it
Aiko's
was.
blood on it had a very unnatural splatter pattern.
I mean, I couldn't tell you that. I'm not a splatter master. Oh, I don't know what made me think of this just now. Who's excited for live action One Piece Season 2? It got officially renewed today. I'm pretty excited. I don't know if any of you have watched live action One Piece, but you all should. That's the whole story. It's way better than it should be. That show should be like unproducible, and season 1 is extremely good.
After the culprit hit her with the brick, they returned it to its original position.
The show is so good that one of my friends from high school, post the period of time earlier alluded to, actual friend, who like was subjected to like one afternoon watching One Piece with a mutual friend and I, and like really did not enjoy that experience, watched it and enjoyed it. But like, so just to like reiterate the whole thing we've done here in the game just now, like all I've done is mostly tried to pick like the option that I think the game would most use to try and trick me. And then that last one was just like pure intuition based on how prominent the blood splatter was in the photo of the crime scene thousands of years ago. So like none of that was actual reasoning at all. Not like real proper reasoning. It's just guesswork. I don't like that. There's another one that's bad for me. Who murdered Aiko? I have no idea. Karen?
Aiko's death was not a suicide by jumping, and Karen clearly lied in her testimony.
Karen died before we talked to her. What testimony are you talking about? For those of you just joining us, Karen, and I refuse to pronounce it in the artificial Japanese way, out of spite and principle, or the spite principle, if you will. She's the actress who died during the play. We've literally never spoken to her. What testimony are we even talking about?
Karen killed Aiko.
I literally just guessed Karen because it seemed like the most insane option of the four. And apparently that's right. Although,
Alright, let's keep following her, Yuma.
there's some amount of my own intuition there of like, I didn't have any way of knowing this for sure, but based on the fact that the game bothered to ask me that question point blank in that way, like, there seems to be like some logical sense to the idea that Karen like killed Aiko for some reason. There's various and sundry possible motives available. But then she opened the floodgates to establishing that we solve our problems with murder in the theater club, and then she got for having been a murderer. This was the submissive
I
peacekeeper's
can tell
report.
Aiko's death wasn't a suicide from the evidence photos.
Now
Her shoes were neatly placed
Okay.
on the roof, but there was dirt on them that looked like it came from the floor.
that's what I was supposed to pick up on. You know what? That's fair. I don't know if that I would have done that in the split second they give you during the constant attack segment, but like at the time we saw the photo of the shoes, I did think it was super weird that they had mud on them. So like it makes sense that that's supposed to be an indicator that she was like killed in the mud and then the shoes removed later. Like that makes sense. Just like the game like didn't prompt it in a way where like I would really think about that. She's also the only girl without a photo of Aiko. That's true. So like it could be partially jealousy of the fact that like not only was she like the most successful girl in the theater club, but also that everyone actually liked her. whereas like they maybe seemingly didn't like Karen. But to that earlier point, Sarah, I definitely remember the submissive guard and his weird obsession with being punished. That, you know, good for him, I guess. But I definitely don't at all remember what he said. I do remember him giving a report. That's all I got.
I think Aiko was told to meet at the flowers behind the school building and then murdered there.
I hate when that happens.
So the shoes were taken to the roof afterwards.
The murder weapon is likely a brick from the flower bed. The brick with Aiko's blood on it had a very unnatural splatter pattern.
You know, showing it this way, I definitely see what he means by the unnatural splattered pattern. My recollection of it from the photo, which is, of course, like weeks old at this point, I thought it was, like, more central on the brick, so it didn't stand out to me in that way. But, like, the indication here is that the brick could have been removed from the wall and used to, like, bludgeon, and that's why only the corner has blood on it and none of the surrounding bricks do. Like, that is pretty weird if you actually stop to think about it, which I don't think I did before.
If she fell from above and hit her head, the bloodstain wouldn't get cut off in that way.
I do think that I remember staring at it and feeling like I should be able to understand something and not do it. So, you know, partial credit?
I'm sure that after the culprit hit her with the brick, they returned it to its original position.
There's a part of me that wants to say, like, why wouldn't you turn the brick over so that the bloodstain isn't there at all? It would create a different sort of plot hole, but, like, a less incriminating one, probably.
But do you have evidence that Karen did it?
No, I never have evidence.
If
It's
Aiko
just like
didn't die
Phoenix
from
Wright.
jumping, Cotton's testimony makes her highly suspicious. She said she heard something fall and went to inspect it.
That would have been good to remember.
I get it. Hearing a sound that never happened means she's obviously lying. Karen lied. And the reason why she lied?
She made it appear like Aiko jumped. If that's the case, then the one who killed Aiko is Cotton.
Can't go anywhere else. The fact that it branched had me curious if there was some sort of secret thing I could look at, but it appears not. Oh, I hate this. Can we stop this? Great. Open the door. It's scary up here. I don't like it up here.
She disappeared? Damn it! I can't even help the girl who needs it most!
She already dead. She like a ghost.
Help her? She was dead long before you could help her. Anyway, this must be the roof Aiko supposedly jumped from.
I don't know why. This roof makes me really unhappy to look at. I mean, part of it was that earlier angle where, like, everything surrounding us was, like, red hate clouds of doom. But, like, the weird shape and the, like, toxic sludge-colored sticky texture and the exposed pipe, something about these things together, just, like, do not like it.
Hey, why did Karen kill Aiko?
Ah, who cares? Angel asks, is there an option toggle that makes all of the blood a different color than red? No, Angel. It's a stylistic choice. The creator of this game is the same one who made the Danganronpa series, which that is like a known feature of those games as well. I don't know if that's to, like, get, like, a lower Japanese equivalent of, like, an ESRB rating or something. I don't know what it may just be a pure style thing, but, like, it's just a follow-through, as far as I can tell, from the same decision made in the Danganronpa games. It definitely looks weird, but, like, I've just tuned it out because I have enough familiarity with it that just, like, yeah, it is weird, but it's consistently weird.
I thought an all-girls school would be more sunshine and rainbows than murder.
Nah, man, I don't know nothing about women, and even I know that's wrong.
If a brick was used as the murder weapon, then it could have been an impulsive crime. So Cotton might not have been planning to kill Aiko when she called her there.
You mean they were talking and it turned into a crime of passion? That's so cliche.
Well, it's not, like, 4, like, sequential locked room murders, that's for sure.
Maybe they were discussing their acting careers. They had a disagreement, and it turned to violence.
Maybe Aiko called Karen chicken. And then she was like, what did you say? And then she called her chicken again, and then she got beat to death with a rock.
Well, if this caused the other murder case, then is the motive revenge?
It's been a minute, but I'm pretty sure that happens in one of the Back to the Future movies.
Yeah, they weren't fighting over Aiko's spot. They wanted to get back at Cotton for taking it away.
Meaning the culprit is whoever cares the most about Aiko?
Well, doesn't this just take us right back to Kurumi Wendy actually being guilty of the crime? Even though what we've uncovered so far in the Mystery Labyrinth doesn't point to that? There definitely seems to be some sort of conspiracy. I would not put it past this game to, like, have that be the last hurrah. That, like, at the end of the day, like, Kurumi Wendy was the ringleader. But, like, a whole bunch of high school girls are gonna die if that's true, right? Because, like, accomplices get murdered by the Mystery Labyrinth when we murder the mystery.
Then which of the suspects is it? In fact, where do we even go from here? We got the motive, but there's still no path.
Like, there's something about this tableau here that looks like I don't know, like a Mario Odyssey level by way of Silent Hill, and I don't like it.
This is different from the other dead ends. I think there's a mystery around here.
Something must be hidden here.
Just keep pressing A everywhere until you find the hidden object. That's how stuff works in Pokemon, right? I assume that would apply here as well. Ah, good. Good old Doom Son. What about these vents? They're kind of an odd man out. Nope. Alright, let's go talk to the other characters. Maybe one of them figured it out. Kind of just looks like building. Sorry, what? Why is there like a hotspot? Peek in? That feels like the wrong prepositional word. Peek over? Peek in what?
This place.
So high up. We're above even the clouds. Better be careful not to fall. So you're saying you don't want me to push you? Or...
Hey!
There's no or, definitely don't want you to push me. But, like, it's good to check. Some people are into that. Let's look into the distance. That's a more correct prepositional phrase. By the way, is that Mount Olympus over there? I feel like it is. Wind feels nice. It's hard to believe we're inside a mystery labyrinth. At, like, a murder scene.
Whoa!
Oh god, look at his face. We push Yasuhiko? I sure hope so. One of these days I'll have a concert on a stage this high, looking out over my adoring fans. None of them. Okay, bye. Look over? No, look into the different distance.
Hey, check it out!
Is that the how route we were looking for?
Oh. That's esoteric and mildly interesting.
We're so high up. When did this happen?
We did, like, run... In order to start on this path that we picked up on, we did, like, literally walk up a 90-degree thing and just, like, run, like, up a big wall, and then we climbed a couple staircases up. So, like, for a place that doesn't really need to follow the laws of physics, it actually kind of does.
Master, look over there!
It's definitely Olympus.
What's
That's
that?
Olympus.
It doesn't seem connected to anything else.
This seems connected to Greece, because it's Mount Olympus.
Which means that could be the Who location.
So the true culprit is over there then?
But we'll have to play a game of Guess Who.
But how do we reach it? It's not connected to any other route.
What, are you freezing up? Scared of heights or something?
Oh, it's not that. About those 3 routes.
They don't connect, like, equally, which is interesting. I don't know if that means anything. What's happening?
pen?
This is a lot of space.
You carry that around with you all the time?
Even if you did, a pen would not be a good implement to draw on the toxic roof texture.
Of course. Who knows when I'll be asked for my autograph?
I mean, you'd still probably want, like, silver Sharpie for that, which wouldn't be a pen.
Done. Isn't it perfect?
Yeah, that looks like a reasonable replication. What does it mean, though? Also, how does this one pen generate, like, 5 colors? I mean, I guess the only realistic answer is it's one of those, like, weird 90s pens that has all the different click colors at the top. Anyone ever have those? I feel like I've used them, but I never owned one. Are they good? They seem like they have to be garbage, right? Well, multiple people did. Were they any good? Oh, most of chat does. They had glitter ink, too. Was that an option, or did they all have glitter ink by default? Not even Neko in another country had them. Am I the only weirdo who didn't? I mean, like, I was definitely well aware of them, but, like, I don't think I ever owned one, and I appear to be the only person. Served you well until it got ran over. That's like a 2-sentence tragedy. Nice before they broke. Were they inclined to break easily? I mean, getting run over, obviously, I would expect that to break the pen. Also, hi, anime, hello. My mom says the one she tried was garbage. I feel like I tried one that wasn't great, but I don't remember the circumstances of that. Not durable seems... That feels consistent in my bones. Skull joke? Much prefer using a fountain pen. That's interesting. I'll tell you that I've never used a fountain pen. What do you think this means? I feel like I should be able to deduce something, but this game sometimes tricks you like that, where it's like, it leads you to think you should be able to guess the thing, and then it just says some, like, insane garbage.
I'm just as good at drawing maps as I am at remembering a pretty face.
I don't know, man. I don't think this map's that good.
This is the how routes when seen from above, right? What about it?
Well, you can see those circles. Those represent Jigglypuffs as seen from above.
Well, this is a dungeon, right? So maybe there's some secret paths in here.
Okay, that's a weird conclusion to draw, and I don't think I would have gotten there from that. I mean, there's some, like, boxy bits in the middle of the paths. Maybe there's, like, a lateral passageway or something.
Secret paths?
Shh! Secret paths! Shh!
See? If you look at it this way, doesn't it all seem like the same road?
Okay, again, not where I thought he was going with that, and he generated, like, a 6th color just for fun. That does... yeah... This is a fair point, although we've taken the scenic route to get there. It did seem immediately as though you should be able to walk directly through them. I guess I just wasn't considering that I'd already been through them and should have been able to find that. So is there some idea that connects the 3 paths that creates a pathway to get to the flowery green circle?
You're right. The 3 how routes are connected into a single route all the way to the who room. Wait, all 3 are connected? That's it! I think I've got it! That's the hidden truth behind the how route.
Echo says that she loves fountain pens. They're really smooth and you don't have to apply any pressure to write. That's very interesting. I probably could stand for something like that, because I apply just, like, way too much pressure to writing implements. I think it's just, like, legitimately the cause of the weird shape of my hands. I don't know if that's true, but I feel like it is true.
There's only one explanation for how the victim could have been poisoned.
What? Seriously?
Not bad. You finally made yourself useful.
I think they're finally just catching up. I think what they're trying to imply here is that, like, the how lines up because everyone contributed. I think that's what we're getting at, which, like, we'd sort of intuited an extremely long time ago.
Yay! Shinigami complimented me!
Yeah, I mean, that seems like a good time to die happy. You're not gonna, like, do better than that.
I love you, Shinigami! Wasn't I a good boy? I deserve a treat, right?
Can the treat be violence?
If you think you've got this, I'll back you up. Lay it all out.
What are we doing? Oh, here it is. Pin-up pirate. It's been a minute. I don't think I de-equipped the thing, did I? I think it's still in slow-mo. Maybe. I don't remember if I did now. I know I looked at it. Hi, hello. Shinigami puzzle. Oh, the cute doodle is good. I didn't remember that.
Shinigami puzzle?
Oh, I tell you what, that is like a lot faster. The only crime was possible was by having and oh my god, what's the correct button? X. Okay. Back. I'm honestly not sure what's worse. Way too fast or way too slow? So, MP?
Great!
Okay, it didn't let me... I pressed the button when Li came by.
Great!
Accomplice! Wow, that's the pin-uppest pose yet. I don't think I would have noticed this just playing the game, but you do get a different pose every time you finish one of those. So that's fun if you're keeping score at home. Hard to beam!
That's right. Accomplices.
Sure, you could pronounce it like
The
that.
truth of this case is that Yoshiko, Waruna, and Kurane were all accomplices and committed this crime together.
Now, what's funny is... That's sort of technically accurate, but I feel like the connotation of the word accomplice generally means, like, assisted with, but not the main perpetrator of a crime, which may be more telling than is intended if they, in fact, all conspired together with Kurumi Wendy, which may be the case.
Accomplices? But don't they hate each other's guts?
There was, like, at least one of those exchanges that strongly implied to me that they were, like, putting on airs that they wouldn't talk to each other. A lot of them were kind of just like, don't talk to me, but, like, there was one where it was like, we agreed you wouldn't talk to me. I was like, that's very weird and unnatural.
It's the truth. I realized it once you drew this map, Yasuhiko. The 3 how routes that we explored were all dead ends. Each of them were suspects, but they were all ruled out because of certain details of the case. That makes sense. If we look at them separately, we get dead ends. But by connecting all 3 routes like this, and looking at it as a single criminal act, it clearly becomes one path forward.
They were accomplices.
They were
Committed
roommates.
a single crime.
This murder would have been impossible to commit alone. We figured that out during the how route.
Which one? There were several.
But if the 3 of them worked together, they could make it possible.
They could form Captain Planet. Oh, hi. Hello?
Oh, what's this?
It's the mystery pickaxe. Don't worry about the fact we haven't established it and it just showed up with no fanfare or anything. Vasco, they were thespians. You're right. They were thespians.
I guess we're supposed to break the wall?
The 4th wall? No, don't come for me!
Sounds like fun!
No, wait,
I'm in.
Shinigami can. That's fun.
It's all thanks to my help, don't you think? And don't you forget it.
You're the one who's going to forget it.
Anyway, let's check it out. We have to make sure we're on the right track.
Why would I use the kamikaze spell? I would just die, right? Why is that even an option? Hey, Jake, you're welcome to the stream. Like I said, this game loves reiterating the same point. It is one of the main criticisms I've heard of this game, which is kind of interesting to me in that it's kind of like all Japanese mystery games that I've played have that in common. It just has something to do with like the complexity of the like word problem that is an entire logical mystery, combined with the sort of indirect Japanese communication style, amplified by localizing to like a Western language like English. So like, to me, it's some amount expected. It doesn't make it not a problem, but I just sort of assume that's going to be the case. Ooh, great point, Neko. Kamikaze could take Desahiko out with us. It might be the most noble thing I could do. Like a far, far nobler thing that I do now. Something, something. Oh, I hit zoom. So I assume it's going to take us to, like, the red dead end. I was a little concerned about how we were going to get there without me losing my mind. Nope. It shortcut us to halfway to where I want to be, which is not a great shortcut.
The three of them divided up the tasks that needed to be done to pull off the murder.
Angel, thank you for gifting 3-month sub to Jakey. It's for generous. That's the wrong button. Have a die anyway. We rolled a 6. That's a good omen. Lol. Lol, lol. So we probably want red, right? Just to emphasize the point. I was paying attention to which one was furthest back because I thought we would end up here, even though I hoped we wouldn't.
Don't you think so, Yuma?
Yeah, I think it's the only way.
Here goes. Ah, my face!
You sure sound confident.
Just like once, couldn't we do that to Desahiko instead? How did the three work
And
together
now
to pull
there's a
off
new
the
problem
impossible
to solve.
crime?
We have to expose the secret behind their complicity. How exactly they cooperated together and the timeline of the crime.
It would help if there hadn't been like a 2-week gap since I last looked at this game. I feel like this is gonna be hard. Should use that die for Disco Elysium. To what end, though? Just to randomize all dialogue options? Because, I mean, I don't know if you know this, the game does have its own digital dice. And those ones actually impact the game. Whereas mine only goes on an OBS over. Jakey says he's been addicted to watching Red Dead roleplay. You know, like, I've heard of a Red Dead Redemption role-playing game. I don't know anything about how it works. Is it good? There's not, like, a ton of things that natively, like, handle a sort of literal Western theme. I know there's stuff like, there's a Firefly Serenity role-playing game, which is sort of like a space Western. But, like, I don't think there's a lot of, like, tabletop role-playing games that are just straight Western.
Got it. The timeline, huh? Then the first thing to discuss is...
I mean, just going by these questions, the correct order should be red, blue, yellow, which I believe is consistent with the map. I know red is first. I'm pretty sure yellow is last, so I think that's correct. I know that NRB has played it. I haven't watched that video. Also, as specifically Cotillion and I know, like, I found that channel not that long ago, and somewhere around the same time I found that channel, it sort of got embroiled in controversy, so, like, that's become a little awkward. Let's do... How did it get there in the first place? Yes. This one is my... Actually, well, I'll save on the other side.
Let's start with the poison being brought to the theater hall. Their conspiring began with how was the poison brought to the theater hall?
You should tell the world about the K and eat more. That sentence structure just seems really awkward.
It's a route we already explored to the very end, so let's blast through it!
Oh, okay. I was really concerned they were going to have me backtrack through there. Seems like we could have zoomed right to here, but I guess they wanted us to prove something.
The only person who could have brought
This
the
is pretty
poison to
funny.
the theater hall was Yoshiko, right?
I actually really do enjoy this. So, like, we've firmly established the, like, chain tether between us and Shinigami. But I like that we're going so quickly that Desahiko is both, like, clinging on to, I don't even know what I would call that part of her outfit for dear life so he doesn't get left behind. But also that when he read that line of dialogue, he was kind of yelling over, like, the wind of moving really quickly. So the only person who could have brought the poison to the theater hall was Yoshiko!
Yeah, the poison neutralizes after 30 minutes, so it had to be brought into the theater during the show.
I mean, I guess you could just call it a ribbon, but it feels like it's, like, integral to the dress in a way that for some reason I would expect to have a special name.
As the production assistant, only Yoshiko could have done it.
Who came up with this preposterous poison, by the way? Steve?
Looking back, the reason they chose poison as the murder weapon was to establish an alibi.
Yeah, at this point I've lost track of who's seen what part of this playthrough, because I know some people have been catching up during recent weeks, but yeah, if you're asking why there's a ghost chain between arguably us, the main character Yuma, and Shinigami, it's because it's like a quasi-physical manifestation of the bind between us when Yuma made a contract for Mystery Labyrinth power to become the king of the detectives or whatever. So he lost his memories, but now he's submissive to Shinigami. Which, like, you know, probably like a fair trade.
The poison was only active for 30 minutes, which gave the other girls an alibi.
Yoshiko went to the lab for the poison as soon as the performance began.
Still think that poison is stupid.
She had the extra glass hidden in her bag, and after she brushed poison onto it...
Oh yeah, I forgot that. I forgot maybe the dumbest part of the whole thing, where like the game was like, yeah, obviously this loose paintbrush on the ground was used to paint poison onto a glass, idiot. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what did you say to my face with a straight face? Guess the response to that was, that makes complete sense. I need another gin and tonic. Yeah, these games will do that to you. How do you think I feel? I don't drink.
She put it back in her bag and returned to her seat in the front row as if nothing happened.
I mean, you could describe it that way. That feels incorrect.
The problem is, what happened next?
Nice. Violence is a treat.
We're here! You're up, Master!
Yeah.
Shouldn't I just use the pickaxe? I think she hey, bear with me for a second, guys. What did Yoshiko do with the poisoned glass after bringing it to the theater? I'm pretty sure she just straight up handed it to Karen and was like, please drink poison, thanks. And then she did it. Does that sound right to anyone else? I feel like that's what we've been building up to the whole time. I'm actually not entirely sure. This is like one of the things I was not sure of based on the information that I have. Is like what the immediate next step was. And I think I like literally even said that verbatim at some point the last time I streamed. So like there's two arguments here, realistically. Which is that like Warna is like on stage. So like it's possible that Yoshiko maybe in that like brief moment of blackout that is like part of the performance would have like handed it to Warna, but I feel like that would have been noticed. So I think it's more likely that it's Karane? Karane? Because she was working lighting. So like it would have been more plausible for her to get it without drawing attention to herself. It might still have had to be during the blackout, though. I'm not 1,000% sure. Oh, but that would actually kind of also justify the fact that Kurane had to indicate which glass was safe/poison using the lighting. Which means that she would have had to know, and a way to know that would be to have it. So I think it should be Kurane. But, like, it's one of those, like, logical leaps this game insists on you making nearly constantly. Yeah, I definitely don't think it's handed in a literal sense, Neko, because, like, yeah, my understanding is about the same as yours, that, like, part of the mystery is that, like, somehow the glass got onto, like, the side portion of the stage where it's, like, on display, and it had to be there before the scene where they switched the glasses around. I don't know, you raised kind of an interesting point, Sarah, about Waruna, but I think I'm gonna go with my instinct here and just, like, take damage and get a lower score, probably. Because, like, I think there is, like, logic to the idea that Kurane had to know where the poison started in order to be able to signal it. And I genuinely feel like it's reasonably similarly likely for either one to be the next part of this.
So this wasn't the right one. Oh, my hand still stings.
You were
After, like,
so
2 seconds.
pitiful, Master.
Let's think again about how this crime actually played out.
Well, that's a good point. I'm forgetting the fact that there's testimony that says she didn't do anything unusual the entire time.
Okay, I'll try.
I don't know, the directions are, like, really not responsive here. I mean, I really don't think she gave it to Karen. That would be, like, a really weird trick.
Isn't this the how was the poison mixed into the glass root? Wow, it really connected.
You really should not be surprised
All right,
about that.
Let's keep going and reach the truth.
Whoa! Again?
But, like, you know, I think maybe my biggest complaint about this game is what I'm gonna call the mystery throttling, which is that, like, and like a lot of puzzle games, especially like narrative mystery type things like this, and Phoenix Wright and some other vaguely similar things, have this problem, which is and it's usually in both directions. It's usually both, like, wanting you to make large logical leaps without really clear evidence, but also wanting to be, like, unduly redundantly clear about things that are fairly obvious to you as the player in most cases. And I think that this game is above averagely bad about mystery throttling. Because other than, like, thinking really hard about that,
handed the poison glass over to Waruna, but
like, other than thinking really hard about that and like remembering the esoteric detail, like, it's just like there isn't. I guess the main point is that, like, the only window that anyone could have to get the glass seems impractically implausible for literally anyone to have done. Like, I get the notion that, like, oh, like, it had to be a conspiracy, they had to work together to do it, that's why, like, it seems implausible. But, like, a step beyond that is the fact that the only time anyone could have gotten the poison glass into position on the stage was during what I think they described as, like, a less than 10-second or maybe, like, a 5-second blackout of the lights. Which means that someone would have to do some, like, natural 20 feet of, like, physical skill and also silent dexterity to do that without it being obvious to, like, both the actors and the audience that happened. You would basically have to, like, turn into a cloud holding a poisoned glass, float onto the stage, and then deposit it gently in the correct position, then float back to where you started. Like, it just doesn't, like, that's not human abilities. Like, they must have detective fortes for murder or something.
Waruna was performing on stage, right? How could she receive the glass while on stage?
The only time I can think of is when they turned off the lights.
Yeah, so like this has to be what they're implying. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So there are no intermissions in the play. It's honestly hard to tell, anime. What we know for certain is that the murder is told to us to have happened about 40 minutes into the play. 40 or 45 minutes, long enough that, like, someone would have had to retrieve the self-neutralizing 30-minute poison during the performance in order for it to be potent enough to kill during the performance. But, like, because that happened, like, and also because it's, like, not a real play, we have no idea of knowing if there was, like, an intended intermission later. But for the purpose of solving the mystery, there's no relevant intermission other than the blackout, which is, like, moments.
Yoshiko sat on the right edge of the front row close to the wings, where the actors enter and exit from scenes.
Like, just look at...
She
I mean, like,
probably stood
looking
up
at
when
this
the
makes
lights
me
went out
feel
and
insane.
left the poisoned glass near the right wing. Even if she couldn't get on stage, she could at least do that within 5 seconds. Then, Warna picked up the glass and hid it under her costume. The costume check
And, like,
happens before the performance, so she got around that by receiving the cup during the performance.
That... You gotta be joking
I
me.
see. So they passed the baton during the 5 seconds the lights were out.
Like, like, you're not serious, though, right? Like, that's not really what you're suggesting? I apologize. Are they both, like, dwarves? Do they have dark vision? Like, how did we manage to do that? And again, like, not fall off the stage or make it obvious that we did that?
The two of them must have rehearsed it as much as the rest of the play.
But what happened after that? Suppose Waruna did get the poisoned glass. How did she swap it with the real glass while the play was still ongoing?
Tell me some insane thing. I'm maybe mentally ready for it now.
A few moments after the blackout, there's a scene where Waruna approaches the shelf.
Like it says, girls just have dark vision. Didn't you know that? Well, I did state earlier during the stream, with no hint of irony, that I don't know anything about women, and that's true. Although, that question makes me immediately think of The Dark Crystal, which has a very good similar comment in it. Girls just have wings. Angel says, as someone who's worked in theater, you'd be surprised at what hands can do. They're familiar with the layout and can navigate in pitch darkness. I don't doubt that. Here's my problem, though. Like, we're not talking about stagehands, and we're not talking about a long blackout. We're talking about an actress who needs to be in a certain position in order to not draw suspicion to the fact that she's trying to do a murder right now. Like, it's like way more conspicuous for an actress to, like, do something weird during the performance than for a stagehand to surreptitious. Like, I'm less concerned with Yoshiko putting the glass at the edge of the stage than I am with Waruna just, like, going up to and not over the edge of the stage and not drawing attention to herself doing that in, like, a really short period of time.
It only lasts 2 or 3 seconds, but Waruna's hands on the shelf are completely hidden from the audience. At that moment, Waruna could have switched out the original glass with the poisoned one.
So they used the play itself for their seemingly impossible crime.
That literally always had to be true because the play was the scene of the crime. I know I'm just griping now, but that feels like a really dumb observation at this point in our lives.
Talk about guts. This is something only thespians could pull off.
That's true. We've established that they were thespians. And only thespians in their dark vision could have pulled this off. Yeah. It's times like this that I regret not having found some way to set up a quote function. Someone write that one down for later.
Shinigami? Isn't there a safer way down?
Yes, but this is the correct way.
Master,
Unless we plow
hurry
straight
up
through
and
the...
write this one down too.
Right.
How was the poison glass chosen? Oh, Karen did it. She wanted to die. I'm glad that we continue to leave the Karen option on the table. Yeah, obviously Critic guided to it because, like, that was the whole endpoint of that branch, and also is largely intuitive.
All right, we got this one too.
Only a bit more. Let's keep going.
Wait, can't we take a break?
No, but we could throw you into another wall in like 5 seconds.
This is the final one. It's the how was the poison glass chosen route.
From here, it's exactly as we solved it before. Kurine told Karin beforehand to take the glass the spotlight hits first.
Here's what I don't... this has been something of a source of confusion to me. Because it sort of obfuscated, like, what the goal of the killer, parentheses S, was. What about their relationship has Karen trusting this? Like, what is the point of stipulating this if there isn't a reason, and what would be the reason to stipulate it? Does this not seem, like, really suspicious and weird to anyone else? Or am I just a naturally suspicious and weird person?
And then, after confirming the poisoned glass from the catwalk above, the spotlight was pointed directly at it.
And that's the method behind the murder weapon.
Method? Sounds more like madness if you ask me.
Yeah, ha 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 ha. You could be a One Piece character with that laugh.
That solves this mystery. We've almost reached the truth.
Seriously?
Huh? Why?
I went over that too quickly. I thought I was just gonna say seriously and was half paying attention.
Because I haven't gotten Shinigami to fall for me yet.
Dumb. Very dumb.
That's not gonna happen, even if you stayed here for 100 years. In fact, I basically hate your guts.
Very good. Very true. Nego points out that she's already a pinup pirate. True, we've done a lot of the heavy lifting to make that possible. Is she someday going to be queen of the pinups? I buy that.
You know, beyond the hate, there could be love.
Quick, let this be the moment that he's flung unsurreptitiously into the wall.
It's kind of like traveling the globe. You and I can go in opposite directions, but eventually, we'll meet.
Meet a brick wall.
That's a stretch.
I feel sick.
We ruined that comedic timing. We were so close to that working.
This is the last wall.
Let me just attack you viciously for no reason.
Master, are you ready? Let's solve this thing!
Right.
I think it was Aiko. Now listen. This game does, repeatedly, even in this case, ask you to make big logical leaps. But as we've discussed, it also likes to really reiterate some points to almost absurdity. Even I couldn't possibly get this wrong with the amount of time we've spent on this. Why is this even a question? Who is this question for? Like, I agree, Neko. The only thing I'm disappointed in is that Karen isn't an option. I feel like Karen should, for some reason, be an option, just to make sure that you didn't fall asleep during the last, like, hour and a half. Yay, the green hall. It's a better color.
Yes, it fell.
Shaka, when the wall
Behind
fell.
that door is the Who Room. We finally made it.
It's time to end this, Master.
Now, I'm not even being funny here. I think I will genuinely be disappointed if this leads to an RDM. Because we've already, like, really pretty thoroughly, like, solved the actual crime here. I mean, like, there might be more to the background with, like, Aiko, but, like, if it's just like, no, we couldn't have done it for time reasons, like, it'll make me genuinely kind of mad.
Looks like all the culprits are here. But there.
They seem sad. This says, Karen asked to speak to the supervisor, and he did it. Oh man, that'd be so good. That's like a way better ending to this case.
Why do they look so sad?
Because Aiko still died?
How boring. You call yourselves the final bosses of the Mystery Labyrinth? Then start acting like it. Might as well guard the truth till the end at this point.
Is this meant to be the last hurdle that they got coerced into doing this because of Karumi Wendy? I'm not certain whether that's true, but like it has kind of felt like Wendy was involved for most of this investigation. And I could believe that she's not, but it truly feels more likely that she had something to do with it. Even if it was just like telling them all that the only way to get justice for their mutual friend was to kill Karen, with one of the least likely murder plots I've heard in a while. And up until things started getting busy before my trip, I was watching a lot of Columbo. So, like, you know, like a lot of implausible stuff. Sad witches.
There.
I like that one of them still has that stupid, like, red herring water gun. Hello? Game? Is it time for the God mode? If it is, then we are, like, actually at the end, as far as established precedent goes. Is anyone able to notice if the castle has a different design every time? Oh, I'm gonna be super bad at this, huh? The buttons are unintuitive. It's not the top three like I want them to be. I think it's like one side or the other, and I don't remember which. Really need to focus for a second. The loading screen will definitely throw me off.
Let's do this, Master!
Show me the buttons for the love of God.
No. Stop! No, there weren't any accomplices! Neither Marna or Karane! Stop! There's no reason for us to team up!
Everyone has photos. Give me the key. Give me the key that has everyone has photos. I honestly have a little bit of trouble telling the characters apart in their, like, RDM monster modes because they just get, like, weird colored hair. And, like, frankly, that's, like, half of their defining features. But I mean, it just has to be the photos. So everything else is not motive.
You're wrong! Huh? Come on!
You did it, Master!
I have to advance that dialogue.
Let's do it, Master!
Come on, kid? What is A?
Shut up! Don't come any closer! I did it all alone! I don't know about the others. Don't come any closer!
What's the point of taking the
There's
blade?
nothing connecting us.
I don't think I immediately know which thing they're gonna look for here. Who chose these red herrings? Nothing connects us. Warren says that, like, she was too busy listening to music to know what was going on. Also, photo. The script with notes in it. Could it be also photo? This feels like... I'm calling it now. I think that this will be the worst God mode Shinigami run in the whole game. Because, like, now it's clear to me... like, when we did the first one, I was like, the only thing that makes sense is photo. And it was, like, photo of one of them. I'm like, well, what are the others gonna be? And the answer is another photo of two of them. I'm like, so the answer is just the same thing 3 times? Just... well played. Masterpiece. Confirm.
Huh? Come
You're wrong about your emotional state. Stop mansplaining to the murderers.
That's right.
Great job. That's right. I'm great. My mom says I'm special. Is this the one I want now? Jump.
Shut up! Go away!
She's even stronger
Stop
than my
telling
mom.
lies! Please, leave me alone! Shut up!
Alright, I didn't think about
Nothing to
shut
do
up.
with each other.
Do you see Swiper the Fox? Oh, I don't know. Could it be a photo of two of them? You think? Is that possible? Neka says, will all three girls die by the end? And if so, can we quickly solve a mystery about Dasuhiko? You know, it's funny. I think I made some joke to that effect the last time I was streaming, and then it gave me this weird thought. It has to be a water gun. You're right. It should be the water gun. I had this weird thought. So, like, the entire time that Yuma has been in Kanai Ward, like, there's been this, like, fairly strong hesitance on the part of whatever our boss's name is. It's not coming to mind. It's been a minute. But the guy who lives on the submarine, like, he just, like, has no interest in any conflict with the Peacekeepers whatsoever, despite the fact that they're basically, like, his mortal nemesis. And it has me wondering if, like, at the end of the game, there's gonna be some, like, weird twist where, like, we learn that he was working with the Peacekeepers the whole time, and, like, a mystery labyrinth is gonna kill him. Yes, Yakko. Which is spelled differently, but sounds exactly like one of the Warner Brothers, as voiced by all of the characters in this game.
You're wrong! Huh? Come on!
What's going on here? I thought they hated each other.
My god, it's like way too late in the case to say stupid crap like this.
No, that probably isn't true.
Huh? What do you mean by that?
If you put together the 3 photos they each have...
Also, we're definitely delving dangerously into the Somnium Files territory where, like, Aiba's smarter than Date until she randomly isn't. Because, like, Shinigami, like, definitely lords over us the fact that she read the script, like, the entire game, but then, like, right at the end, she's like, I don't understand the basic motive.
What? So they're all in the same picture?
That's the truth.
Why are we getting a new solution key? We're ostensibly, like, moments away from ending this.
No need for mercy! Let's do this, Master! No! 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 Stay away! Stop messing with me! Oh no! Stop! 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 Stop it! Get away from me!
Jog, 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 jiggle, jiggle, jiggle.
Please! Go away!
Oh, well, they asked nicely.
There is no bond between us!
And they also said it multiple times, so we have to adhere to the law of Swiper the Fox. Oh. Oh, hey everyone, I was wrong. It wasn't the same clue 3 times, it's basically the same clue 4 times. And just for, like, the real big FU, it has the same clue from all the other ones together. As if, again, you literally lost consciousness during the last section of the game. Just real special stuff.
This is the truth of the case! Huh?
That camera didn't need to get that close, but it, you know, it did. I mean, I agree it should be water gun. I'm definitely disappointed that water gun is, like, a red herring. Dude, like a bunch of high schoolers are, like, about to die. It's, like, really uncomfortable. And they're like, one of the weirdest things about this game is the conceit that the Peacekeepers just, like, see a bunch of people spontaneously die, and then they're like, well, I guess we'll stop asking questions now that more people died. I'm gonna be interested, I guess, to see if that, like, starts changing. Like,
This
if they'll
is
have a
just a
different
guess.
reaction this time,
But
finally.
you three weren't actually on bad terms with each other, were you? In fact, it was all an act to get revenge for Aiko. You all cherished the same picture with her.
Thanks for loading that texture promptly. Thank you for that. That didn't look stupid at all.
It was originally a single photo of you all together, with Aiko in the middle. You were all close friends.
Sarah says, ah, he came back to life! That's truly one of the best line reads I've ever heard in a video game.
And when you connect the pictures together...
You get, like, most of a picture, and then the texture loads in, like, right when it means to, and not a moment sooner.
Everyone is there, smiling.
I mean, I'm not sure I'd call all of those smiles, but close enough.
So, why?
Come on, we've got work to do before you get all sappy.
How are there any questions left?
Let's go. One more push and we'll be done with this labyrinth.
And we'll give birth to a murder baby. Is that what we're saying?
What would a hero do? A real defender of justice would defeat evil here and now and be done with it. But I'm no hero. All I want is the truth.
This is suggesting a really odd, like, moral dilemma, I guess? And it's only a dilemma of any kind because of the extremely weird rule of the Mystery Labyrinth, where if you solve the crime, everyone involved just immediately drops dead.
And the truth is right here. So why go any further? Will solving this mystery really make anyone happy?
I mean, I think Kurumi Wendy will be pretty happy about the fact that she won't presumably be arrested for this crime. But again, logistically, I'm not sure how we plan to get there. I just assume it's going to happen.
Master, do you sympathize with them?
Desahiko's like, I do, they're all pretty!
That's not something a detective should do. Your job is to solve mysteries, isn't it?
Your job is to use weird occult superpowers to murder people who have committed crimes. With logic. Don't think about it.
If so, you have to expose the truth. You have to
Glad
prove
she
it
said
in
the
a way
truth.
anyone can understand and anyone can see.
Even Desahiko. If Desahiko can understand it, then clearly you've solved it correctly.
Detectives aren't defenders of justice. They're defenders of truth.
Defenders of truth.
A detective must never overlook a mystery. Any and all truths must be exposed.
Glad he said truths.
A detective must always prioritize solving a case.
I'm especially glad he said truths.
Emotions must be discarded to reach a perfect solution through a perfect deduction.
You know, I haven't really stopped to...
It's easier said than done.
I haven't really stopped to think about it much, but I think that Desahiko actually has enough flair for any Office Space fans out there. I think he might have enough flair.
Yuma, if you can't do it, I can take your place.
No, I'll do it.
I'll commit murder for justice, like the hero I am.
Take responsibility. I'll see this through.
I will pay the rent. I mean, you have to look at the somber photo while you do it. It makes it weirder. Deduction denouement? Now, at this point, I'm not actually sure if I have the most recent version of the game. I think I read something at some point that suggested that they added a skip button for this part of the game, the denouement, which is, like, interesting. Like, of all the things, I don't know why that got, like, called out in patch notes I read somewhere. All right, what do I have over here? Glasses are swapped. Rick. Note in script. Those are the only ones. I mean, what weapon did Karen use? Karen used a brick. This is probably the switch? No. Okay. For the naysayers in chat, and I think we had a good discussion about it, but I just want I want you all to take a look at how the denouement comic book demonstrates the fact that Warren picked up that glass. She hovered it under her dress, but in the groinal area, with her witch magic or something. Yeah, right, Neko? Now, in case anyone fell asleep for, like, multiple times, let's go over the whole thing again, but with pictures. I mean, like, I think this is definitely a pretty egregious example of, like, over-redundancy to, like, make sure the whole mystery was clear. I get why you do it, but, like, it does feel unnecessary, right? That's a sick bird. So Neko introduced her brother recently to Dora the Explorer Journey to the Purple Planet, which I think was like a GameCube game that I made Tech play once, and he was very not pleased with me. And of course it takes cues from the like preschooler aimed TV show, and Neko says, after watching this and that game back to back, Dora's mysteries have better pacing. That's a really sick burn. So this has to be switch them glasses, right? Even though, like, I feel like there's a weird... It just has to be it. I feel like I want to get to the script later, because I don't remember exactly when I would expect that to show up. Okay, suicide by jumping's gotta be... early. What was Aiko's cause of death disguised as? Roof shoes! What else do we have? Oh, that's right. Arrow keys are better for this. Spotlight. Spotlight. What did Kurina use to guide Karen? Spotlight. And I tell you what, this is not like a huge detail, but it does genuinely bother me that, like, we've explained some of these things to death that made sense, like, with relatively little effort, but, like, I do not at all understand why Karen just, like, took the word of the note in her script that she should take the glass that killed her. There's just no reason to do that. It's just weird. I would be super suspicious of that. Chemistry lab should be somewhere around here. I feel like this is a weird way to display this, but sure. Where was she headed? I mean, she was going to that there chemistry lab. This looks like the poison for Kuzco. What does she apply to the glass? She painted poison on, which is clearly visible in the next frame as well, thus rendering this a stupid question. There's only two things, so let me find where there's a blank to put... Oh, here it is. Second to last page, right? No. What? Do I get this later? I have... Oh no, I guess this is right. Why did Karen take the glass? Because of the note in her script. That just feels like the weirdest place chronologically to put that. Sure, that's fine. For whom did the trio commit the crime? Peace Fingers McGee! I prefer the term unfurled, thank you. And then, just in case, Neko, you had a stroke while filling in the comic book,
Step right
let's
up,
not forget
step
that we
right up.
repeat the whole thing in,
Tragedy
like,
that
slideshow
struck an
form.
academy stage. The death of a high school girl casting a shadow over 4 bickering theater club members. Truth bombs are about to be dropped. Time
They're
for
not.
the
We've been talking about this for
deduction game round.
hours.
This case begins with Aiko's death 6 months ago.
Pointy finger.
Aiko was thought to have committed suicide by jumping off the roof.
We also get, like, an unsatisfying amount of information as to, like, why this altercation happened. Like, stuff that, like, really fleshes out the interesting parts of this story are left by the wayside so that we can go over the overarching structure of everything, like, 4 times in succession.
But in truth, Cotton murdered her.
The shoes left on the roof had dirt on them from the flower bed at the crime scene. The bloodstains on the bricks were also unnatural, and it was obvious that an amateur had faked it.
No, Anime, they specifically have not... They've, like, gone out of their way to point out themselves that we don't know why Karen killed Aiko. Which makes it even more ridiculous that, like, solving this crime hinges on you making that conclusion, despite, like, relatively little evidence. But also, and I said this a moment ago, but, like, it really bothers me that I have no idea why Karen would, like, listen to that note in the script. Neko said something about it, though. I would guess it's because if she killed out of envy for wanting to be in the spotlight, she'd naturally want the special spotlight glass anyway. Well, honestly, there's, like, I don't know how joking you're being. There's a world in which that's, like, almost, like, an interesting detail, is that, like, she just has, like, a tragic character flaw of her own that she, like, literally is just obsessed with spotlight, like, literally and figuratively. And, like, so they were able to just, like, coax her into doing it. But, like, we've gone out of our way to establish that someone just, like, wrote a note in her script and she's like, got it, I'll just do whatever someone wrote in my script. So, like, what it does is it gives me the impression of that thing from Anchorman, the Ron Burgundy thing, where, like, whatever you put on the teleprompter, he just reads, no matter how, like, bad or stupid or offensive it is. It's like, if someone had just written in, like, Karen's script that she, like, strips naked and jumps off the stage, would she have done it? Like, how impressionable is she?
If it wasn't a suicide, it would contradict Cotton's testimony.
That's not the biggest logical problem here. It's not that people would know she lied. It's that people would know that she did murder. You're focusing on a really weird aspect of this interaction game.
However, she didn't originally intend to kill Aiko. It was a crime of passion.
Yeah, right? Just, like, literally, right? Karen drinks real poison. She just shrugs and, like, drinks it straight out of that comically large container that we saw from the chemistry lab. She's like, oh, well, guess I'll just die. Oh, Karen, you truly are the worst.
So they got into an argument, Cotton saw red, then boom?
Like, literally, even now, they're like, I don't know, was there motive? Who cares?
Women are so scary.
True, that's true.
Yoshiko, Waruna, and Kurane probably realized the truth behind what happened. The 3 teamed up to avenge Aiko. They used the dress rehearsal to commit this crime.
Regardless of the reason, getting together to plan a murder is pretty crazy.
Strangers on a
Yoshiko
stage
and the
or
audience
something.
Was to bring the poisoned glass into the theater hall.
Once
They could have
unsealed,
just
the
written
poison
in
is
the script
harmless
that Karen
after 30
stands up,
minutes.
confesses her
So
crimes,
she
and
went to the
dramatically
lab
dies.
15
It seems like
minutes
that
after
would have
the play
worked,
began.
right?
The poison container is too big to transport unnoticed, so she applied it to the glass in her bag with a paintbrush.
This is also just, like, an insanely stupid detail to me. I don't know why, like, this just feels, like, so mind-bogglingly just unnatural and weird. Not only that she used a paintbrush to apply poison to a stage glass, which just feels deeply esoteric, but, like, also, I mean, A, the comically large poison container. That's just, like, goofy nonsense. Like, why is that even in a high school to begin with? But, like, B, the fact that, like, I understand that she was, like, in a hurry or whatever, and yeah, the paintbrush did have poison on it. But, like, for her to just, like, leave the paintbrush, like, randomly on the floor and not go back to retrieve it or anything, just, like, leave that there, is, like, super duper duper weird.
Thus, the poisoned glass was created. She brought it back to the theater hall, then went on standby at the right end of the front row.
Warna, who was acting
Yada
on
yada
stage,
yada, the
was to
murder
switch out
happened,
the
don't think too
poisoned
hard about
glass.
this part.
During the 5-second blackout 30 minutes into the play, Yoshiko placed the poisoned glass in the wings.
And then the thespians used their dark vision to commit the crime.
Warna, on stage, retrieved it and hid it under her costume.
Then, in the scene where she approaches the shelf, she exchanged the glass there with the poisoned one.
Somehow de-levitating it from her crotchal region.
Switching in the murder weapon on stage while everyone is watching? What a pervy exhibitionist!
I don't think that's the problem with that.
What's perverted about that? And
He was, like,
Kurne,
doing
on
some
the
weird
lights,
stuff.
would
He
guide
was, like,
Colin
flickering.
to take the poisoned glass.
Then came the duel of poison cups! The two glasses on the shelf had juice poured into them. Cotton and Warna shuffled them in a way the audience couldn't see.
Oh, no, I was trying to remember, like, I know something happened on the stage that had that weird Barbie property of, like, a container that should have liquid in it not having liquid in it, but it was the poison vial that's supposed to be in the scene that doesn't actually have poison in it. It doesn't have any liquid in it. So, like, the moment when she goes to, like, apply the poison is fake, but for some reason we used real liquid in the glass.
But Kurne, who was on the catwalk directly above the stage, saw exactly which glass held the poison. She confirmed the location of the poisoned glass.
This is a slightly weird thing. This isn't like a deal breaker to me, but this also does feel weird. Like, did Warren do something to signal that which glass had the poison in it to begin with? Because, like, yeah, she's up on the catwalk. She's in a position to see which glass goes where. But, like, if it is obvious to look at the glass that there's something wrong with it, I would like to imagine that Karen didn't just drink it like a lemon. So, like, it has to be that the glass itself with the poison brushed on it doesn't look suspicious. But if that's true, then there still needed to be some signal to Catwalk Girl, whose name is always the hardest one to remember, to actually know which glass ended up with the poison to signal Karen to drink it.
And shone the spotlight on it first.
Cotton drank from that glass 45 minutes after the start of the play. Winner, winner! Poisoning complete! That was so long! Good job!
It was so gruesome. That was, like, really upsetting to watch.
Kurne told
I
Colin
forgot
to
how
change
bad
the
it was
stage
until we saw that
direction,
image again.
But the victim was to take the glass the spotlight hits first.
Okay, now will you please tell me why she'd, like, listen?
Cotton followed this instruction to take the poisoned one.
She's just Ron Burgundy. Okay. That's all we got.
The whole sequence of events for this crime would have been impossible for a single person. Their cooperation was also a means to conceal their involvement. But I can't shake the feeling that there was some other reason behind it.
The ruthless, disgusting criminals who conducted this murder are... Yoshiko! Waruna! Kurane! You are the killers! Wait, what?
They may have pretended to always be at odds with one another, but deep down, they were bonded through their shared admiration for Aiko.
Warren reported the fake poison glass? No, I think Karen did. I'm not 100% on that, but I think Karen was the one who, like, faked putting poison in as, like, actual stage direction for the play. Otherwise, I think she would have been like a more obvious suspect to the Peacekeepers, maybe. Maybe I'm just like retroactively trying to make that reason.
This is my answer!
This may be considered my answer. For some reason, one of my favorite Eternal Sonata callouts, when Princess What's-Her-Face, the character only available in the PS3 version, does one of her attacks.
Was there really no other way? Was there no way to prove Cotton did this without killing her?
Hey, to be clear, them killing Karen didn't prove anything. It didn't prove anything. Like, the only way that we know that Karen did it is because, like, someone wanted to kill her. Which we kind of already knew. And the fact that, like, the bloodstain on the brick was weird. That's it. This was just murder. This was just its own murder.
That's not possible. Not in Kanai Ward. The Peacekeepers bend the truth whichever way they want to. The three girls couldn't get justice from them, which led to this crime.
But it doesn't make it right! How long did you put on an act for this?
6 months.
Was our sunlight. Wherever she went, we were meant to be there with her. She was everything to us.
I'm glad that they're playing like a Chopin piano song in the background just as closure for the whole slideshow play incident.
We were together ever since we were young. Her dream was our dream. We were nothing special. But she called us her rivals. Those words encouraged us to carry on. But now she's gone. Everything's hopeless now.
Hey, I have some good news for you. You're going to die. Isn't that exciting? It's a weird consequence of this weird world we live in, and also my death pact.
The three of us investigated Aiko's death. I used my parents' connections to view top-secret case files.
Did we know that? Is that coming completely out of nowhere?
But no matter what we did, the Peacekeepers refused to reopen the case. Because Karen's father is a big shot at Amaterasu Corporation. That's why we had to do it ourselves. We wanted revenge.
We were legally obligated to commit the murder. You can't hold us accountable for that.
Revenge became everything for us. And to get it, we pretended to fight amongst ourselves. We are actors, after all.
Feels like unnecessary subterfuge, but okay. Yeah, Arcadia's welcome to the stream. Then you make antifreeze. You take away her blanket. Very good. Very good, Arcadius. How are you doing today?
But we don't have to anymore, right? We don't have to keep this up.
Nah, I told you, you're gonna die. That's what you wanted, right? I'm confused. You're just in time. We're gonna probably do some side quests soon. Everyone loves side quests. Hooray!
We put on quite a show, didn't we, Aiko?
This leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Then again, most cases do.
I really want him to follow it up by saying, like, I think I should brush my teeth more.
But that's the end. We can finally return to the real world.
Anyway, says, I think during the last case of this game, our character will end up killing everyone in Kanai Ward. That's actually kind of a funny suggestion. Because, like, if Kanai Ward's ultimate secret was, like, a conspiracy that basically everyone living in Kanai Ward somehow cooperatively covered up, and we had a mystery labyrinth that connected to that, like, everyone would die by the insane rules of the mystery labyrinth. Because, like, all accomplices get dead.
I hope the girls open up like that in the real world, too.
No, I don't think they can.
No, because they're basically dead now already.
Huh? Why
Thanks,
is that?
Arcadius.
Oh, also, where's Shinigami?
Right here.
I'm about to gruesomely murder people with my magical friend sight.
Well, what do you think? Did you fall in love with me? I know you did. You must have, yeah?
I already told you. I will never fall for you. You're seriously getting on my nerves. You're annoying and exhausting.
Yasuhiko?
So you're saying there's a chance?
Did you think I was serious?
Yeah, body count is at 6 at this point. 1 from the first case, 2 from the second, 3 from the third. Does that pattern just continue? Is it just 4 in the next case?
I was just testing the bond between you two.
Our bond? It's more like a curse, at least to me.
Wow, that's really hurtful. I can't believe you'd say that.
Right. I was just testing. I wasn't serious at all.
No one's relating to this.
I didn't get rejected, okay? I didn't.
All right, just calm down.
Yeah, seriously, Anime, the only way to get justice in this case is to accidentally swing the scythe far enough to catch Yasuhiko.
Anyway, let's do it. Time to exterminate the souls of the true culprits and destroy the mystery labyrinth.
Look, it's not like a happy thing to begin with, but like phrasing it that way and being excited about it definitely makes this feel worse. Time to exterminate the souls of the culprits!
Wait, Shinigami, do we really have to do this? I mean,
They're murderers. The reason why doesn't matter. I make my living reaping the souls of criminals. Because I'm Shinigami. Surging bloodlust. Overflowing despair. The brilliant soul of Shinigami shall expunge this cursed case. Death to all deplorables. Ruin to the vile mystery labyrinth.
I hope someday we learn the name of the site. It's clearly a friend. Is it Bello Fresco? Scythe-kun. Probably Scythe-kun. They kind of didn't seem to like getting hit with that special Sailor Moon attack. Anime says, I do not remember how the other partner reacted to Shinigami killing criminals. I'll be honest, I don't 100% remember either. I feel like it hasn't been made explicitly clear to either Yasuhiko or Halara what the consequence of the Mystery Labyrinth is solving it. Because, I mean, like, I feel like the last thing we heard Yasuhiko say was, like, I hope that on the other side they can reconcile. And we kind of just mutter, like, well, I don't think that's going to happen. But, like, I don't think we said to him, like, I'm going to kill them. I mean, it does seem like it's in Halara's character to, like, go with it, but, like, I also don't know that we, like, stated it. I could be wrong, though. This is important. It's going to be very stupid.
Huh? What the?
When did I...
What just happened?
oh, hold on, let's all calm down.
Let's wait for a few high school girls to drop dead, okay? Everyone calm down and wait for high schoolers to die. Great. Good.
What?
Awesome. Perfect.
What's going on?
I knew it.
You knew it. Of course you knew it. It's cause and effect.
Once again. Oh, right. I got one more job to do.
I'm starting to think that the actual final boss of this game... Oh, so we just do this now. This is just like a thing we always do?
Excuse me, everyone. The culprits behind this incident were Waruna, Kurone, and myself. All three of us conspired to poison Karin. The way we got her to ingest the poison was
This implied we recap this for like the 6th time. We'll spare you one. You get one for free.
I don't know what you people have done.
She kind of gives me Cruella de Vil vibes. Not quite the personality, but like the outfit, right? Like, am I crazy? I feel like she's got like a Cruella fashion vibe. I mean, like a little less, I gleefully killed puppies, but like the whole color scheme, and it just feels like a thing Cruella might wear. But to finish that thought, because I wasn't advancing those cutscenes, so I want to let that play out. I'm starting to think that the final labyrinth is gonna be like, we're gonna get to the end of it, but then the true final boss is Shinigami, because like the final case will be something where like someone's genuinely justified in doing a murder in a way that like Yuma can't accept the culprit just being like killed, and so he has to like fight her and like grow as a person by standing up and being assertive, because that's not his thing. I feel like that's where we're going. And he says, so this not setting off red flags in that it keeps happening in front of the peacekeepers with people just dropping dead. I mean, I've been saying it all along. It sure seems like absolutely bananas for us to like bank all our hopes and dreams on the fact that this works and no one finds it suspicious that like, right as we were about to be arrested, a bunch of people just died.
But next time, it won't go your way. Remember that.
Did you see that? She was staring at me the whole time. She's gotta be in love with me. Oh, fine. I guess she can keep the piece of my love as well.
A, no one wants that. And B, she definitely doesn't want that in particular.
Hey, what's
Oh,
got
man.
you so down? All
He's-
3 of them just died out of nowhere. Nobody's to blame for that.
First off, Yuma's character portrait got like shadow eyes, and then his like 3D model like gradually went to shadow eyes, which I think is fun. We've seen similar things, but I don't think we've seen that specific thing before. Also, just like another great, very helpful observation for Desahiko, like, they all just died out of nowhere. Natural causes. World's a weird place. Let's get lunch.
There's no reason for either of us to feel guilty.
So speaking of death gods, did you know you should never challenge death to a pillow fight unless you're prepared to face repercussions? Oh, repercussions. Me so far.
Seems like all the memories from the mystery labyrinth are completely gone.
For anyone who didn't watch Lamplight City, that couldn't make any less sense, huh? Me so far. You should watch Lamplight City. That game is great. Bill isn't, but the rest of that game is great.
Master, we're in the clear. All 3 of their deaths won't be your fault now.
That's not what I'm worried about.
It looks like he's worried about a super bad migraine. Hey, Kurumi Wendy! Now you have to tell me the secret of Kanai Ward's ultimate secret. You promised.
Kurumi?
Thank you for saving me. I knew you'd come to the rescue.
Anyway, are you alright? The peacekeepers didn't harm you, did they?
No, I'm fine.
Hey, Yuma? I don't want to get in the way of this tearful reunion.
Why is that highlighted, do you think?
But maybe we should get out of here? It'll be trouble if the peacekeepers come back.
Oh, right. Let's leave then.
Boodly boodly boo. Boodly doodly doo. This is a weird transition. What's happening? Okay. Sure hope candy comes out of that. Why is there not like a tooltip? I'm like confused and alarmed. Okay, we're saving. That feels like a good sign. Forgot he'd have to lug his
I'll go
stupid
on ahead to
backpack.
the agency and put in a good word for you.
Yeah, we still never bought those meat buns, by the way.
I don't really get how it all ended, but I have a hunch.
Hey, wait, that says that Desahiko's hope is that he brought a pen, which, while funny and valid, also calls into question, like, what do you get to bring into the Mystery Labyrinth? Why did he have a pen? He doesn't get to bring his memories, but he gets to have his multicolored pen? His fancy clicky multicolored pen that everyone but Vasco had? What's the deal with that?
Yuma, you did all the work, right?
Huh?
Guess he's got good intuition.
Looks like I won't be calling you Rookie from here on out.
Okay, chat, I want to hear your best guess as to why his comically large backpack says park on the side. I don't know if we talked about this.
Let's keep working together, my man. Mind your manners as you walk your girl home.
I would love to know how old Yuma's actually supposed to be. I don't remember if the game has told me, but I feel a little weird about this. He looks like a 12-year-old boy, but, like, is a detective? Is he supposed to... Is it okay for him to be in a relationship with Kurumi Wendy, or is this just, like, weird Japanese awkward?
Yuma?
It's just a park-branded bag. Now, that feels like a really plausible answer anime, but it's not the most fun speculation. I guess is Vasco. Do you want us to buy you a fancy multicolored clicky pen? It sounds like you've missed out on cherished childhood memory. I mean, I definitely have too much stuff as it is. Honestly, it just makes me happy that thing that, like, as a kid, like, I feel like as a kid, I understood that would be cool, but that I didn't need it, which is rare, because I didn't have that sort of insight until today, for the most part, in terms of other things. But, like, I'm kind of just glad people finally remember that thing that I definitely clearly remember from my childhood despite not having one. Fun speculation is someone has written park on his back during an investigation. So, oh, I like that. So, like, maybe it was, like, a clue to, like, a murder or something that he investigated. Someone's, like, last word is they wrote park on the side of his bag and he just left it there. That's good. I like that.
Huh? What is it?
This tension. Don't tell me. Is this where they made babies?
No. I don't think it's gonna be on the front steps of the school. I could be wrong, but I'm fairly certain that's frowned upon. And also not how dinosaurs work.
Did something happen? You seem down.
Yeah, I sort of committed a bunch of murders, but in a way where cosmically I don't suffer repercussions from it.
Oh, well... Although the case was solved, 3 lives were lost.
If only I could remember where I placed them.
Right.
It's always the last place you look.
I didn't expect Yoshiko and the others to.
Spontaneously drop dead? I know. Obviously his large car-sized backpack. It's in park on the side because it's a car-sized backpack. And that's the side you park it on. I mean, I don't know if that's the best side to park it on, but that does logically track. That does seem right.
Could it be that their deaths are related to your forte?
That's quite the conclusion to draw.
What?
Wow, we've got another sharp one. Master, I hope you know this, but if you say anything about our contract...
I get a pony?
Oh, sorry for saying something so strange. I know I'm off, right? Even if that were the case, you'd never tell me.
Hey,
But let me act
Kurumi,
super suspicious anyway.
There's somewhere I want to go.
Is it to the steps of a school to make babies? Is that how that works?
Will you come with me?
Sure.
Okay,
guess.
chat. Wrong answers only. Where do we want to go with her? I don't... Is it the submarine? Is like the real answer? I'm not sure I should know this. Or if this will be some random thing. But what's the wrong answer? What's like the worst place we go? The chemistry lab. Hey, taste this. Does this taste funny? Got you, it's a fresh jar, you're dead now. The murder basement. The murder basement feels like a maybe real answer. Oh, we're going to Viridian City. Of course, we're on the road to Viridian City. I don't remember enough lyrics of that song to keep that going. To Mama's. That would be a really bad place to go. But then Mama could break the fourth wall and explain the plot of the game. So good.
Wow! What a nice view!
To the Shinra Corporation roof, of course.
It's like a secret hideout. I didn't know that Kamasaki had a place like this.
Please, help me save this city.
Save this city, huh?
We saved this city on rock and roll, or
I
something.
managed to save Kurumi by solving the case. But I killed those 3 girls. I'm responsible for their demise. If I had let the peacekeepers deal with it, at least their deaths could have been prevented.
But, like, an innocent person would have died. You have to at least acknowledge that, like, it's not, like, a clear, like, exchange. Like, even trying to inflate the odds by being like, oh, these 3 girls who committed a murder, there's 3 lives now at stake. Like, it's like an innocent person. Like, is that cool with you? If that's cool with you, you, like, genuinely probably shouldn't be a detective.
What exactly?
I understand
did
why
I
this is
even solve?
complicated. But, like, for real, you probably shouldn't just be chill with, like, innocent people dying.
It's not a true solution if we can't save everyone.
Anyway, it says, oh, right, our boss always looks like he killed someone. Yeah, for some reason that time it caught me off guard. Like, I should be used to it by now, but, like, you know, he had an onion on his belt. It was the fashion at the time. He's covered in blood, and that's just cool and normal, I guess. Is this whole game a trolley problem? It's starting to feel like we're going in the trolley problem direction. Maybe that's where we'll go after this. We went up to the Shinra Corporation rooftop, and now we're gonna go to Trolley Problem Station, which is a terrible place to go. Definitely don't get anywhere near those tracks, please.
What I gained in exchange for my memories isn't some convenient mystery-solving tool. It's literally the power of a death god.
Hey, here's a serious question. That's gonna sound completely random and stupid. What do you think is better? Fast Shinigami Barrel or slow Shinigami Barrel? They kind of both seem really bad. I don't know which one's better. I really want medium Shinigami Barrel, but I don't think that's literally an option. I think I have to choose fast or slow, and they're both bad.
What are you musing about?
You can hear my thoughts. Don't act like you can't.
You can't reclaim the past, and you're not gonna get your memories back either. In the end, you just have to accept it.
Why is it... The fact that she just said that really makes me think there's like a Ursula the Sea Witch thing happening. And that she's lying about the terms of this, and there's some weird thing where, like, if I solve the mystery of my own memories, then I'm, like, free of her power or something. Some sort of thing. That's a pretty good argument, Sarah. Kind of a mixed bag of chat as to whether slow or fast is better. But Sarah says fast is better because then you can use the points on something else. I don't know if that's strictly true, but that is a well-reasoned argument. Yeah, I definitely feel like she's concealing something about the contract, even though she's like... The line delivery doesn't make it super obvious. Like, a lot of times games like this will have a character, like, obviously be super shady just to indicate that there is a greater mystery, even though, like, in a similar real-life situation, like, they wouldn't be so obvious.
Accept it?
Instead of believing in some vague thing like justice, just believe in the truth. They say there's only one truth, and there's only one type of person who can find their way to that truth.
Tightrope walkers?
Detectives.
Oh.
Even if I have to sacrifice others to find it, I should let so many people die for the truth?
We should bring out the Tommy gun of truth in order to find the truth more quickly.
Master, you keep going to extremes. It's part of why you're a greenhorn. Seems like you still have much to learn under my guidance.
What is the truth? Why did I become a detective to seek it?
Yuma?
Huh? Oh, yes?
I thought we were gonna kiss on the roof, but I'm kind of unclear about our age gap. It's like that thing in Schmigadoon.
I know I already said this, but... Thank you so much. You are exactly the kind of person I thought you were.
Mass murderer.
What do you mean by that?
Mass murderer.
You're my hero.
I'm no hero. I was just trying to expose the truth.
Don't love me. I'm doing my job. I'm the boost.
But thanks to you, I was saved. If you weren't around, I wouldn't be here today.
That's such a great point, Neko. I do love, like, putting into Earth perspective things in, like, movies and video games, especially video games, because the conceits in video games tend to be goofier. Neko says, isn't it weird for this girl that Yuma asked? He asked her to come to this rooftop, and then all he is doing is, like, quietly, like, sobbing to himself while he's musing about, like, justice and murder. And she's just, like, hanging out on the rooftop, like, yay, neon! Like, is she not picking up on how weird this is, and why she probably shouldn't be here? Like, frankly, if someone did this in real life, you would probably think they were gonna push you over the edge. Like, you would think they were gonna try to murder you.
That's why a detective who exposes the truth is a hero in my book. If there were more detectives like you in this city, maybe Aiko's death would have been solved earlier. I'm sure things would have been different. Kanai Ward hasn't seen a hero like you in forever. That's why it's always been so dark here.
Are we the hero that Kanai Ward deserves, or the hero it needs right now? I've always been a little murky on the distinction.
So please continue to be our hero.
You know, that's a great point, Sarah. Or no, I guess Neko's the one who said it. If a hero like us had been here when Aiko had died, then we would have straight up murdered Karen. Is that better? That actually is really interesting to think about. Because, like, we're upset that we killed 3 people for the murder of Karen. But, like, if we came here earlier, we would have murdered Karen ourselves. What an odd distinction.
A hero. Maybe before I lost my memories, I was trying to become someone's hero. This time, there was a steep price to be paid for exposing the truth.
Just keep saying that. I'm glad they keep saying the truth.
But even so, the truth must always be revealed. I want to believe I can save someone. I want to continue being the hero she says I am.
It's weird to say I want to continue doing it while simultaneously believing he's never been that hero.
Still, I don't want to use Shinigami's powers again.
Don't act like you don't like it, Master!
He's clearly very serious about it. Like, you're the one being ridiculous if you genuinely believe otherwise.
Well, I'm just glad you seem more motivated now. Oh, yeah. We made a promise, didn't we? I said I'd tell you about Kanai Ward's ultimate secret after the case was solved.
Huh? Oh, right.
Alright, my whole, like, raison d'etre.
Hey, you seem like you weren't expecting much.
I don't know, do you want me to say some, like, creepy Desahiko thing?
That's where you're wrong. Just between you and me,
I actually kind of hope that this is stupid, but I think this will, like, relevantly drive the plot forward.
I am Kanai Ward's only informant.
Oh, good, it's at least a little stupid.
Informant?
Are you serious? A high school girl informant?
I've watched weirder anime.
I'm still a beginner, though. I started 3 years ago after taking over from my grandfather.
Oh, it's getting stupider. I'm pleased.
And now that the Peacekeepers control the city, there isn't much of a demand for information anymore.
That's clearly false. It's just more that the people who are in power don't want information being around, but, like, it's still useful.
No wonder you know so much about rumors. Besides...
Have we established that's a true thing? I don't feel like we've really done that. Her grandmother was a high
This
school
never since I
girl.
was chased by those
Obviously.
peacekeepers.
I've definitely watched weirder anime, Neko.
That also explains why the peacekeepers were after you.
Such a throwaway line, I genuinely didn't remember that.
If Kurumi is an informant, maybe she does have some crucial information about Kanai Ward's ultimate secret.
Hey, instead of speculating, she's literally right here and offering to tell you. Why don't you just ask her, idiot? Oh, hang on. I'm gonna violate my own words because I have to see if I can accumulate any DP by looking at anything, which it appears that I can't, unless this is a new trigger. Look at the view. Kanai Ward, Amaterasu Corporation, Peacekeepers. I have no idea what's in store for me. No point worrying about the future. It is what it is. You don't have a worry in the world, do you, Shinigami? I didn't get any points. I should save, though. That is true. I don't think I've saved at all this stream. Gotten really bad about that. I feel like at some point I had intentions to get some audio that, in hindsight, I didn't care enough to do. So I'm just going to keep saving normally, and I think that puts me here? Or does it? I guess that puts me... No, you know what? I'll just save the top one. We'll start at we'll take it from the top. Alright, let's talk about whatever now.
So, Kurumi, what do you know about Kanai Ward's ultimate secret?
Well, it's likely connected to the top secret research that Amaterasu Corporation is conducting.
Are they trying to figure out the depths of depravity to which human beings will go to for a Klondike bar?
I think it has something to do with why the unified government approved of Kanai Ward's isolation.
Their research has something to do with that? Shouldn't they know? I feel like they should be aware of that. That also doesn't seem like the sort of thing you, like, scientifically research.
Top secret research? Approved the isolation?
Metal Gear?
Kanai Ward has always been a city centered around Amaterasu. But there was a lot more freedom in the past. People were allowed to come and go as they pleased. It became an autonomous zone, free from the Yuji's influence only a few years ago. The reason behind it has to do with the top secret research that Amaterasu is conducting.
But what is the research?
I don't know all the details, but it's supposed to be able to change the entire structure of the world.
That's so incredibly unhelpfully vague. What a critically important yet powerfully useless observation.
All nations and enterprises worldwide want it.
It's called Operation MacGuffin. No one understands what it is, but we all want it.
This research is what turned Amaterasu into a major global corporation.
And that research is being done in Kanai Ward?
I think so. It would explain why Kanai Ward's been isolated.
Maybe.
It's so their research doesn't leak out.
Research that can change the world? If that's true, it's some serious stuff. No wonder number one of the WDO would risk his neck here.
Do you know any more details about that research?
I do know a little bit. Grandpa risked his life to obtain one piece of confidential information about Amaterasu Corp.
Is this a puzzle? Is it Horan Instundaga?
And I believe that somehow, it has to be related.
To your grandfather, the high school girl? Yeah, that tracks.
What do you mean?
Research to create a homunculus, an immortal monster.
Of course. Of course it's a homunculus. Of course it is.
Immortal monster?
Metal Gear?
Now, wait just a minute.
No, this couldn't make any more sense to me. That just has to be true. Why would it be a homunculus?
Are you serious?
I don't have any proof.
Is it literally just like Full Metal Alchemist? Like, is it just gonna be the city had to be isolated because we're gonna do some horrible thing and create like a philosopher's stone and then use it to make a homunculus? Is it just Full Metal Alchemist?
But it's a fact that Amaterasu Corporation has previously researched homunculi.
Homunculi being researched in this city. Is that Kanai Ward's ultimate secret?
Man, imagine bringing this back to your boss. Like, you're already, like, the rookie, and you got a couple people being like, hey, he's actually, like, he's, like, solving some crimes or whatever. And then you're like, okay, boss, check it out. I figured out Kanai Ward's ultimate secret. Homunculus.
Immortal monsters? Homunculi? It's turned into a fantasy story out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's weird. Her, like, 2D portrait has her eating, like, a rice ball. But, like, her 3D model doesn't match. Usually they match pretty closely. This is why we're collecting innocent people for crimes. Interesting theory. Also says, I wish Uchikoshi made it a golem and did a 20-minute PowerPoint presentation about Jewish folklore. I mean, if this was an Uchikoshi game, I feel like that sort of thing would happen. But, like, I feel like we'd be in the middle of, like, some at least vaguely threatening scenario, but, like, someone would just turn to us and be like, have you heard Jewish folklore about golems? Have you heard of the Philadelphia experiment?
Though, I'm sure not one to talk.
That's all I know. Well, is my information useful to you?
I don't know, man. It's really hard to say.
Although, most of it was left behind by my grandpa.
Left behind?
One day, my grandpa just vanished. He's been missing ever since.
Did someone murder him? If so, I could probably figure out what happened and then murder that person.
That's why I decided to take over where Grandpa left off as an informant. So, do you think what I've shared might help?
Yeah. This is huge, considering how I had nothing until now.
Really? That's great! I'm actually useful to a master detective!
How old is anyone?
Oh, about that master detective thing.
Look! That's where my grandpa used to live!
I'm deliberately ignoring you. Please don't tell me the truth.
That takes me back. I wish I could see him again.
I just had some, like, weird mental disconnect where, like, because of the exact angle at which the names in the, like, visual novel portrait area are lined up, I thought that, like, the neon sign on that building said Kurumi Wendy. I'm like, that's ridiculous. Why is there a Kurumi Wendy building?
Oh well.
And that's how you'll keep taking advantage of a high school girl, huh?
Listen, I don't like the way you phrased that, but I don't think I can technically deny that.
By the way, Kurumi, why do you think your grandfather disappeared?
Yeah, I'm sure she has hard answers to this with evidence and
Could
everything.
it be the Peacekeepers?
No, I don't think the Peacekeepers have anything to do with it.
I think he was turned into a Philosopher's Stone.
Grandpa vanished before Kanai Ward became isolated. He was just suddenly gone. But I do believe I'll see him again someday.
When I get turned into a Philosopher's Stone.
Master, forget about some geezer you don't even know. What about this homunculus stuff?
The homunculus research. If Amaterasu Corporation is still researching some immortal monster in Kanai Ward, it makes sense why there'd be such tight security. They fear the secret leaking to the outside world. Maybe it even has something to do with the great global mystery that number 1 mentioned.
Forgot about number 1.
Speaking of which, what could the great global mystery be anyway?
I mean, honest to God, if Kanai Ward's ultimate secret is homunculus, the great global mystery could be truly anything at all that you could imagine. Just anything.
There's too much stuff we don't know, but you're one step ahead of the other detectives now, yeah? Guess that flat-chested Uggo is kinda useful.
I need you to stop. Could you please?
Maybe I should stop calling her Uggo now. I'll just call her Flat.
Is this character growth? Actually, that's spot on, Devilish. I think it's not only possible, I think it's highly likely that the great global secret is the Colonel 7, oh, isn't it 11 herbs and spices? Colonel Secret KFC recipe. However, it is entirely possible also that it could be a boat.
Still gonna hold on to that, huh? I guess this is technically an improvement.
It is character growth. I'm glad the game answered
You're
that
gonna
for
keep
me.
this info to yourself, right? It'll help you get ahead of the other master detectives.
I don't, think it's a competition. Even so, I'm, the only person solving any crimes, so, I feel like I'm good anyway.
No, I'll report this to everyone. This isn't something I can deal with alone.
It's not a new insult, Neko. It's technically one fewer insult. That's what makes it character growth. Sort of.
Ugh, how lame. Couldn't you strike a pose and shout something like, "I'm coming for you, Amaterasu"?
That's not my role.
I'm a cleric. I don't do that.
All I can do is investigate Kanai Ward's ultimate secret just a little bit further. The rest should be left to the real master detectives to handle.
This is my fault as your mentor for babying you so much. You've become the kind of detective who only relies on others without trying to solve problems yourself.
I feel like that's a mischaracterization of what's happening. We're, literally up against what is effectively, a global government power. And, we're in a city where, the authoritarian police force will just, basically disappear you if you happen to exist near a body because it's convenient to not have to investigate it on some public level. Going it alone needlessly will, most definitely get you very killed. It seems needlessly reckless.
What's wrong with relying on others?
It's not even, relying on others. It's, combining your strengths to battle a foe that's, much stronger than you as an individual.
Thank you so much for today.
The pleasure is all mine.
It was, such a wild understatement. Thanks so much for, not getting me arrested and whatever. That's cool. Alright, let's get, boba later.
I'm kinda hungry. Maybe I should go
Ah,
buy
there
a
it
meat
is.
bun on the way home.
There's the button this case needed. That's what I was waiting for.
You like those meat buns too, huh?
Yee.
Yes, I love them. I eat at least one every 2 days. They're kind of the comfort food of Kanai Ward. It's like I'm instinctively drawn to them.
It's like there's some mysterious addictive additive that's concerning, or should be concerning. Sweats profusely.
Oh, would you like to join me, Yuma?
No thanks, I'll pass.
Don't pass, you need that! You're supposed to get that!
I see.
I thought we were gonna kiss. Are we kissing? How old are you?
Will we meet again?
Huh?
I forgot about her 999 strawberry jacket.
Yeah, of course.
That's great! If you ever need any information, you can count on me. See you later.
I don't think that's how any of that works, but okay.
I hope she's okay on her own.
The part of me that is inherently, a comedian really wants that to be... Wants, the camera to, switch to his viewpoint and then just, a piano to drop on her for, no reason at all. I hope she's okay. Oh no.
I couldn't bring myself to say, I'll walk you home.
What do you think the next errand will be that we get sidetracked from? I think we're just gonna show up on the ship and get, beaten up or whatever.
Just say it. What are you, 12?
That has been my guess for some time. I don't know how old he is. Is his response gonna be that he doesn't remember how old he is?
You sure you don't want to go back to the agency? Weren't you running an errand a while ago?
You're right! Oh no, I better hurry back.
Weren't you running an errand? I was! Let me make sure not to complete it! Where did this transition come from, and why do I live here now? This hasn't come up before today, right? I don't think it has. And yet, we've done it twice now. And I still don't have any meat buns at all. It feels like something from Paper Mario or something. Hey, what did Fubuki Clockford get up to? Oh man, got in a fight, huh? Huh, Yakko?
Homunculus research. I still can't believe it's true.
Okay, I just want to point out that we're all master detectives, and we probably shouldn't take the word of a high school girl without any evidence, just like completely on face value. Like, we could investigate it, but it does seem genuinely insane to me that you would just be like, ah, so you heard from a high school girl about homunculi, huh? Well, I guess that's gospel now.
Does it ring a bell, Chief?
Unfortunately, I've never even heard of it. You sure it's not just some rumor?
How would I know that? If I had evidence that Project Homunculus was happening, like, I feel like I would have led with that.
The way Kurumi explained it leads me to think it's true.
Regardless, there's too little information. We lack anything definite at the moment.
That's a little more like it.
Still, it's better than having nothing at all. Well done, Yuma.
Hey, who do you think we're gonna team up with next? Fubuki Clockford or Vivia Twilight, who someday hopes to die?
Thank you.
But in the meantime, we'll keep reading books in the submarine's fireplace. I tried explaining this character to Tech, and he seemed really upset about it. Why does the submarine have a fireplace? Listen, that's not the point.
You're like a dog wagging its tail whenever you get complimented.
You were late getting back, but I never imagined you'd get yourself into another mess.
That you should have assumed that. That one is on you.
What the hell is going on? I'm so angry, I'm talking with the lisp!
Why is that happening?
I'm really sorry.
And your tail gets tucked between your legs whenever you get yelled at.
Setting aside how I nearly died of hunger and that Yuma needs to be put on a leash, you picked another fight with the Beastkeepers!
Is that not what you wanted?
That's the biggest problem here!
Look, if you didn't want that, I feel like you should have been clearer than explicitly telling me many times not to do that. I feel like this is a communication error that, like, I have some fault in, but I think it's honestly mostly on you.
We weren't picking a fight. Besides, we got to expose the truth in the end.
Yeah, funny you should say that thing about the leash. I already got it covered. Right, Demolition?
That look on Martina's face was awesome. Right, Yuma?
That's not what I'm talking about! How can you be so relaxed?
What is this character trait?
There, Lisp Man. Please remain calm.
Yes, Lisp Man, remain calm.
So, is it true the culprits in that case suddenly died? That makes it similar to what happened in the Nailman case.
Yeah, I'm definitely certain that in the physical space we haven't made it clear how the whole spontaneous death thing works. Weirdly enough, the detectives are starting to question the fact that every time I solve a case, a bunch of people die.
Moreover, it is also similar in that those involved in each case, like Desuhiko and myself, had their memories wiped.
Gosh, it's like someone on this submarine knows what they're doing.
There are too many common traits to call it a coincidence.
So she's scared of how smart Halara is. I mean, I think genuinely, like, at least in a traditional sense, Halara is, like, clearly the most competent one among us. Like, we have protagonist plot armor and superpowers and whatever. But, like, just in, like, raw, like, detective talent, it's gotta be Halara, right? I mean, like, I get that they're kind of supposed to be, like, a band of misfits, but, like, the others don't seem particularly close.
The memories related to the case disappear.
Unfortunately, that happens to me every day. Me, Fubuki Clockford.
Perhaps it is due to someone's forte.
Oh, dang. They're getting really close to just figuring it out. Not that, like, we really need to hide it. I mean, I guess it's not great to tell them either, but, like, hiding it's also got its own problems.
No way. What kind of useless forte would that be? Besides, no one here has an ability like that.
Yes! No one here stares directly at Ghost.
Could another master detective have found their way here?
It'd be one thing if we were anywhere else in the world, but we're in Kanai Ward.
Forget it, Jake. It's Kanai Ward.
This isn't the kind of place some ambitious master detective could barge into by himself.
Anyway, he says, I think Clockford has a trigger and will become a super detective. Do you mean like trigger in a sense that like something will cause her like ditzy anime character nature to transform into powerful Luffy-esque protagonist? You got a shiny Riolu? Arcadius, that's a good find. I think that could happen. I mean, I think it's also been strongly implied both in her super overt obvious name scheme and something that Yako said at the start of this case, that like Fubuki has some incredibly powerful time-related forte, so like that probably also helps her be a good detective. Although again, my previous statement was in terms of just like literal like human detective ability, setting aside the supernatural stuff. It says, okay, with that said, Vasco, think of other detective games you played where Shinigami's inserted alongside other sidekicks. Alongside or in place of? I tell you what, Lamplight City would be a drastically different game if Shinigami was haunting what's-his-face. Yikes. That game would be very, very different. I feel like you could get away with, like, inserting Shinigami in Disco Elysium and not have it be like wildly out of touch with the game as it currently exists, like communicating with voices that aren't there, and also like the occasional supernatural experience.
If someone got officially dispatched here, I would know.
What about unofficial?
Anyway, why are you all looking so glum? The case is closed and we got new information. It's a fantastic step forward. It's springtime and all is right in the world.
Spring? It rains all year long here, and we've had nothing but trouble.
That is also true. Angel, in case you've been tuning in and out, that who's that in the fireplace? That's Vivia Twilight. Does that not answer your question? Vivia Twilight basically lives in the fireplace of this submarine. That's right, this scene takes place in a submarine, with a fireplace. He sits in the fireplace in the submarine. This is the same thing Tech was struggling with.
Ugh! Just what the hell is going on here?
It's like the hand of death itself.
See, Vivia Twilight. He's obsessed with that. Someday he hopes to die. Is this the sub from 999? No, it's too big. It's a really small sub.
What's wrong, Vivia?
You know what they say. The greater the detective, the more often they encounter death.
That's kind of true. I don't like the way you said it, though.
Isn't that right, Yuma?
I definitely don't like the way you said that.
That does kind of apply to you, Yuma. In a way, you're like a death detective.
Isn't that sort of true of, like, all homicide detectives?
Don't take it the wrong way. I mean that as a compliment.
I mean, it's super cool you keep murdering people with your occult powers.
But even if it offends you, I refuse to apologize. Apologizing is too much of a hassle.
Yeah, and I guess if you get your wish and someday you die, then there's no point in going through a hassle, huh?
The Death Detective. You have a cool nickname, Yuma.
No, please don't make that a thing.
No way! I don't want a nickname like that.
Really? But it sounds so awesome!
It seems death has taken a liking to you, Yuma.
Oh, that's unsettling.
That's one of your talents, in a way.
It is genuinely a little unsettling for a death god to, like, compliment us, and then Vivi to immediately be like, oh, I guess death has taken a liking to you. Like, oh, I don't like that. Don't like that.
Sheesh. I'll never understand this guy.
I'll figure out how to discipline Yuma later. For now, we need to come up with a plan to handle the Peacekeepers.
Hey, I know a guy who you could talk to if you want to learn a thing or two about punishments for doing your job. It's a weird Peacekeeper guy. You'll know him when you see him. And also when he keeps asking you about punishments.
You said this case involved Vice Director Martina, right? She's Director Yomi's right-hand woman.
Yeah, she's also like a super creep.
I heard she's both
super
his
creepy.
close advisor and his mistress.
Ah, so she goes both ways. That's good to know.
I'm sure they're gonna make a move somehow. I don't even want to think about it.
What'll they do?
Are they sinking our sub?
This is what I'm talking about! Everyone, brace yourselves!
Are you serious?
No, I feel like this is just a coincidence.
This is so fun!
A lot of people are looking forward to Vivia Twilight's case, and I am too. Vivia's so far been an interesting character. I'm really angling for Fubuki Clockford. Yeah, that seems like the right reaction. Oh, didn't realize that was on me to advance. Thought the blackout sort of suggested we were just gonna move on.
Is sinking.
Now the weird thing about that is,
everyone?
we're
Somebody help.
haven't we pretty consistently been like docked at water level?
Hey, Master! Snap out of it! Come on,
If we were buoyant enough to be on top of the water, they'd have to go to greater lengths to sink us, I guess is my point. Oh yeah, I bet Vivia's reading in the chimney. And I bet he's also thinking to himself, like, oh, thank goodness. Death. Death awaits me. Pardon?
Boom! Oh, it sank, all right.
Okay.
This is the bolt of judgment, the fire of purification, a supernova explosion!
Well, I guess it's a good thing that devil fruits don't exist in this world, or like someone like probably died from that.
Hey! Who prepared that torpedo?
Unfortunately, it was I, Martina Electro.
I'm very confused about the whole vibe of that exchange.
I figured it was you.
What? I can't tell quite what weird thing is happening because she appears to be hiding behind the dialogue box. Oh, she was being his ottoman or something?
I told you to blow up the whole river and vaporize them, didn't I?
What kind of torpedo does that? I'm seriously asking. I would like to know.
Now it just looks like I'm causing chaos. Half-assed executions of the law are nothing but senseless violence.
Well, you know, I gotta hand it to Yakko. I thought he was being, like, a little dramatic. I mean, obviously it's bad to provoke the people in power here, but, like, I kind of didn't think this is the reaction that they would have. This is pretty dramatic.
I told you to demonstrate perfect order. Listen to me. A clean and pure execution of the law is overwhelming, absolute, and completely blows everything away without a trace.
That's an unsettling metaphor that does feel appropriate for your character.
I'm terribly sorry, Director Yomi.
No matter. You are my beloved right hand.
How much do you think everyone else in this room hates their job? Scale of 1 to 10. Like, what do you think job satisfaction is like at this rank of the Peacekeeper organization?
You only need to remain by my side.
Yes, thank you. I will forever be by your side to serve you.
Very cool and normal.
Thing is, even though you're my beloved right hand...
Yeah, one being the worst.
You still need to be punished.
Well, we're back to the punishment thing.
Huh?
Multiple people say this is better than their job. Now that's a funny thing to say. I sure hope that's not true. Because this is definitely an organization where, like, you make a mistake and you get disappeared permanently.
You couldn't even solve a case caused by a couple of brats. Not to mention the detectives escaped under your watch.
Now, this is, to me, one of the biggest things I struggle with in terms of plausibility of this game's story. Is, like, the Peacekeepers have all the authority in this city. So, like, when a detective intervenes and, like, solves a crime, Don't you just disappear them? I mean, I realize we just fired a missile at them. So, like, kind of. But, like, multiple times we've just sort of let them go after they've been involved in the suspicious and immediate death of multiple people. Don't you think that you could just, like, hold them for questioning and then, like, not let them go or something if you're, like, a horrible, villainous, authoritarian organization or something?
But it's all right. Don't worry. You are my beloved right hand.
You're playing this hot and cold. I really don't know where this is going.
I won't hurt you. I need you to stay pretty for me forever.
Oh boy, do I not like that. That is upsetting for multiple reasons.
I understand. So, what is my punishment?
Does it involve wearing some sort of onesie for approximately 1 week? Or maybe being stuck in a kayak with someone else? That's a fun contemporary Big Brother joke for anyone suffering through that. Boy, is that just really terrible this season.
See this? It's a recent invention by Amaterasu Corporation called a high-performance presser.
Don't like that either.
It can compress up to 50 kilograms of material and instantly turn it into a cube.
Oh, that actually sounds delightful.
Even humans can be turned into pretty little cubes.
Hey, Crit Twitch! Welcome to the stream. I hope that's the first line of game dialogue you paid attention to. Fun for the whole family. There you go, that's the reaction I wanted. How are you doing, Crit Twitch? Good game. What's wrong, Sarah? Do you dispute that humans can be turned into pretty little cubes? I submit that they can. Hold on. Neko's reaction to job satisfaction. 10 out of 10. There's only about 4 people in the room. He definitely adores his job. He's bringing the average up. So you're saying the average person in the room is at a 10 because the guy in charge likes his job that much? I'm not sure I agree with that math, but I appreciate the analysis.
Huh?
I'll keep you on my person at all times, so you'll always be by my side.
That's not better, that's worse.
You are my beloved right hand.
Please wait! What? You must be joking!
Hey, you! Take my beloved right hand over there.
How far is this gonna go?
Director Yomi, please wait! Please, have mercy!
Okay, Neko, I'd like you to reassess the average job satisfaction of person in this room now.
Oh, Martina. There's something I wanted to ask you before you go.
I feel like the energy is a dramatic understatement.
What's love?
Baby Don't Hurt Me No More. I know that one. I know that one intimately. If you try a call and response with a popular house song from the 90s, I'm probably gonna know it.
Take her away.
Is the answer a cube? Is the answer a pretty little human cube? Or like a miserable little pile of secrets?
Director Yomi!
What answer do you think would make him happy?
Director Yomi!
All right. Now, let's go find the corpses of those detectives that got blown up.
That seems like the right energy from this guy. So Yomi is an adventure game protagonist? Now, Anime, when you say that, do you say that as, oh, look at this. This weird thing is happening. Do you say that because he's a sociopath? Because I don't see him picking up everything and then just committing crimes to advance. No, I guess that tracks.
What's that? You don't know? I guess not, since you're still new. That's number 1, the leader of the World Detective Organization. That's him? I had no idea.
The little one's Yuma, I presume.
Up here underground.
Is that how I sound?
There's a book vault here. It's a secret book vault that only number 1 can enter with his biometrics.
Shh! Secret book vault.
It supposedly contains data from generations of great detectives, sealed books, and so on.
And probably like some homunculus stuff. I bet there's some homunculus stuff in
All
there.
that.
Clearly number 1 has something to
Don't
do with
even
what's
think
up.
about
We can
going
agree
in
on that,
there,
right?
newbie. I know. Wasn't number 1 carrying an old book just now?
That's the deduction denouement book, isn't it?
You're curious? Well, why
Oh.
don't you go investigate? You may be a trainee, but you're still a detective.
Wait, that's an insane thing to say. Didn't you just say I shouldn't do that? And then you're like, ah, why not?
Kidding. Don't take it so seriously, Yuma.
I hate when people do crap like that. I think that's whatever book we made the contract with Shinigami with. I think Yuma investigated that, and then, like, opening the book freed Shinigami, yada yada yada, chained at the neck. We seem to be in, like, a nice hotel room.
Huh?
Like a very large, nice hotel room.
Wait, where am I?
Beats the hell out of me.
But weren't you by my side the whole time? Don't you know what happened to us? Like that time back at the Amaterasu Express.
I was only able to stay awake back then because we just made the pact and we weren't fully synchronized yet. But that didn't work this time. When you lose consciousness, my vision also goes dark.
God, that's so existentially deeply concerning, and also at least a little confusing.
Actually, do you remember drifting in the river after the explosion? You almost died. Hell, even as a death god, I thought I was gonna die.
I don't understand. The disembodied voice we heard was Gen. Are you saying you looked that up, Castle, and that's like the same voice actor? Because I genuinely wasn't paying attention to it. Also, I don't like thinking about Gen. It's this game you didn't realize. You know what, Critchwitch? That's fair. You showed up at like maybe the most likely point to not think that's what we were doing in the entire stream, Ball.
This is no laughing matter.
Just a little funny.
Anyway, because your biological activity stabilized, I was also able to wake up.
Is that what we're calling it now?
Everything's A-okay so far.
You just had to rewatch that crappy game. Who hurt you, Castle? Why did that happen? Oh no, wait, were you the one who told me someone that you, that like another streamer you watched started playing that game, and now you're just like quietly feeling pain while watching it happen again? If so, you have to let me know what their reaction is to the big plot drop. Because I hate it so much. Oh, she finished. Did she hate Deus Ex Mama as much as I did?
Now, let's go find out where we are. I want to go exploring so bad, my eyes are watering.
I think that's allergies.
That's a bit dramatic.
Well, I would love to see a clip of that. That would be a post-stream activity for me, but I would just love to see anyone experiencing just such undescribable disappointment. Like, I feel like a normal person has a reaction strongly to that the way that I did to the turn in Zero Time Dilemma, which kills me every time, man. Alright, well, I thought we were gonna have some more
Out for now.
side quest time. I definitely want to spend like a little bit of time figuring out what's happening in this new act of the story or whatever we're doing, but I don't think we're actually going to get around to side quests today. So that feels like the way out? Yeah, this door does not seem like it goes out. Because it's like in a back wall, it doesn't look like it leads to a room. So I can do this for points.
Oh!
It won't open, it's locked somehow. Alright, we're kicking it down. I don't have that kind of strength. Points. The points are important. They let you get useless skills like slowing down the barrel. That's equally too slow as it normally is too fast. Large television. It's a large TV built into the wall. The power's off, so I can see myself reflected in the screen. Okay, now you say that, but that doesn't quite seem to be true. Master's thinking of using that giant screen to watch spicy videos. I don't think that's true either. That's not what I'm thinking at all. Does that mean you're gonna think about it later? Yeah, probably. I guess that's my reflection. It definitely doesn't look human.
This is quite nice!
Abstract painting. I think this is what's called abstract. Looking at it makes me feel anxious. Although that's my default reaction to looking at anything.
Hey!
If it were up to you, Master, what would you title it? Cul-de-sac? Trash. That's uncalled for. Oh, this one too.
This is...
Is this a painting? I can't tell what it's depicting at all. Truly an inspired piece. Shinigami, do you know how to interpret art? Definitely not. I'm just saying whatever pops into my head. You gotta look for the experience points. Because the level ups, I think, are genuinely going to be pretty important later on. What is this insane place? What happened?
Oh, wow.
Oh, wait a minute. The spooky guy from the intro? With, like, a mask or whatever?
Who's there?
Didn't we see him here? That's who this is, right? Yeah, this guy.
Hi there. Nice to meet you.
So not a normal...
I sure look suspicious, huh?
God, is this Gen's cousin? Silent curtain call, Endo. I still haven't gotten evaluated on doing a really bad job in that one. Here it is. SS deduction, SS judgment, SS RDM, A for stamina. I tell you what, I stress about it, but this game is like really generous with these rankings. I do not agree. Save progress? Yeah, I should do that, huh? This one of them. This one of them. Definitely a homunculus of Yuma. Are you saying that the masked person is thinking about watching a spicy video right now? Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, the way the game seems to evaluate those things, if I put, like, all of my experience points into maxing out stamina, I could probably get, like, double S rank just by default.
Someone's dream on the street corner. An unrealized ideal is shattered. Like tears flooding the city. No one can be saved this way. Someone whispers, as they drown in a melted dream.
What? Oh, chapter 3, no longer a detective. That's fun. What do you think we'll do now that we're not a detective?
That was quite refreshing. A bath is like a fleeting dream.
Thanks, Japan. Thank you for that very Japanese dialogue.
Your sweat and past are washed away. You're born anew. Would you like to join me next time?
Buy me dinner first?
No, thanks.
I hate the fact that he felt like he had to answer that honestly. Like, I really don't want to take a bath with you, Mr. Guy.
Oh, if you're embarrassed about taking off your clothes, you can hop in with them on.
Oh, okay, that's totally fine then, yeah.
I do that once every 3 times anyway.
What if everyone else from the sub is dead? You know what? I hadn't seriously considered that, Sarah, but I really should, because we all know how that first case went. Because we met, like, 5 master detectives, and I can't stress this enough. They all died. And those characters were, like, prominently featured in, like, the promotional materials for this game. They were like, look at these cool characters with their powers. And then they all died. So, like, after setting our expectations to have cases with, like, Vivia Twilight and Fubuki Clockford, it is plausible that they are just dead. I'll say this. I'm pretty sure I've only ever seen still images of Tetsuhiko and Halara as companions. That's not to say that other ones don't exist in the game, but those are the only ones I ever actually remember seeing anything of online. I just sort of assumed we'd get there.
Who are you?
Great question. Maybe should have led with that.
Oh? If you want to know who I am, does that mean you wish to be friends with me?
Do I have to answer that now?
Friends?
Yes, I want to be your friend. How about you?
I want to hold your hand. I want to hold your hand.
Huh?
I think you should avoid sketchy guys like that. You're just gonna end up joining a pyramid scheme or something.
That feels like very possible.
Oh, that's right. I haven't introduced myself yet. I'm sorry. It's been so long since I've built personal relationships that I don't remember the procedure.
Initiating friendship sequence alpha.
My name is Makoto Kagutsuchi. Nice to meet you.
That hasn't illuminated anything. Mystery Kagutsuchi. I mean, on the one hand, the mask is kind of fun for, like, Halloween or something. It's genuinely a little upsetting for general use. I forgot how stupid our name was. Yuma Coco Head sounds like one of those names that Day9 generates when he streams, and he just lets chat bribe him to pick random letters until he tries to, like, read the final result. Which is always a funny gag, but, like, makes a completely unpronounceable mess of characters. Yuma Coco Head sounds really close to one of those.
Yuma.
I'll grant you this. Neko has put forth the theory that this person is a homunculus of Yuma because of similarities. I believe it sounds like the same voice actor with, like, a different effect applied. But to me, and, like, maybe it's the framing here, I would definitely say the hair color is different, but I feel like Makoto looks taller to me. But it is a little hard to gauge the way they're positioned.
Master, maybe you should comment on his mask. He's probably waiting for you to do that.
But then wouldn't it be funnier if I didn't?
About that mask.
Oh, this? Interested?
I have a spare. Do you want to wear it and become my friend?
This is like a family heirloom to me. It has quite a history.
Hey, I don't like the fact that your portrait has the eye on the mask changing shape. That's not great. That's a hard pass from me.
It is said my family has demonic blood flowing through us. Normal people who gaze upon my face lose their sanity.
That's fun.
That's why I must keep my face hidden, or I can't even hold a normal conversation. So what is this demonic blood, you might ask? I did my own research on the matter.
Oh, that's very cool.
It goes back 500 years. Back then, this land was comprised of over 200 kingdoms, great and small.
I think I got it now, thanks.
Oh, are you sure?
This guy's worse than I thought. Where are we anyway?
Good question. Excuse me, where are we right now?
This is my home.
Yeah, was that not obvious?
It's the highest point in town. The top floor of Kanai Tower.
I find that really alarming for various reasons.
Top floor of that tower?
You serious? He's like Stark levels rich. Hey,
Stark
can you help me
levels?
while we're here?
I beg your pardon. Do you honestly and sincerely want me to believe that this is a completely fictional world of superpowers, but Tony Stark, the fictional character Iron Man, canonically exists in this world? Are you kidding me? Why is that true? Why is that true?
Why am I here?
I have more important questions about Tony Stark.
I assumed you were playing in the river. However, it's not good to get carried away.
You're not really good with social cues, but that's not surprising.
You were lying by the
Skull-faced
riverbank
joke.
in tatters. One of my men just happened to find you.
Oh no, he has men, though.
So I had you brought here. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if we just let you die.
Stark's forte is to be Iron Man. That's plausible, I guess. Why not? That might as well be true.
You're here from the lowest part of town to the highest. How does it feel to have traveled between heaven and hell?
I really don't like that question.
Where are the others? Was anyone else there besides me?
I drowned them with my own hands.
There was no one else.
I see. Chief Yako, Halara, Tetsuhiko, Fubuki, Vivia.
Like, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. If this game got me more than once by just, like, killing off basically its entire cast of characters, I have to respect that. I mean, I'll be disappointed because I did want to have cases with those two characters. I hadn't really formed attachments to most of the first cast that got killed. But, like, that's a pretty bold move.
I hope they're all okay. It's all my fault. The Peacekeepers have it out for us because I've been butting into cases, pretending to be a detective.
No, that's true. I think I would still be at least a little bit mad because they made us do a Desahiko case and neither of the characters I most wanted to play with.
If I'd followed the Chief's advice and stayed put at the agency, none of this would have ever happened.
Yeah, but, like, murders would have happened.
There you go, acting like some tragic heroine again. The only people who'd give you any sympathy for that shtick are the possessive types drawn to the naive. Just forget about it all and be positive. Say you have amnesia and reset your past.
This is an interesting side to Shinigami we don't see a lot of. The, like, truly callous, clearly inhuman side.
After losing my memories, the Nocturnal Detective Agency was the one place where I felt like I belonged.
Do you not feel like you could belong here with your skull-faced captor in his naked giant bath house?
If that's gone, I don't know what to do.
I know exactly what you're referring to, Demolition. I think there's sometimes an ice cream asset. The last line she had, she was like eating an ice cream. I feel like we've seen it before, haven't we? I thought we did.
Hey, you're lucky to be alive. Compared to the other dead detectives, that is.
Guess if there's a game with a detective who loses their memory, sounds familiar. It's all of them. I know that you were making a specific goof on the fact that we just played Disco Elysium, but to be fair, it's like a really high percentage of like, amnesia's such a popular thing. It feels like it's even more popular in Japan than here, but like it's also just generally popular.
They're not dead. They have to be alive somewhere.
Oh, we have lots of visitors today.
Is it weird that I thought that was an ice cream truck driving up to the top of this tower?
You might want to hide for now, Yuma.
Hide? Why?
I don't like that you said that. Listen, I don't like most of the words that you say, mask guy.
You don't want to go play in the river again, do you?
Frown Town.
What do you mean by that?
Master, I've got a bad feeling about this. Do as you're told and hide.
I don't know why the mask moves, and I don't know. It does not make me happy.
But where am I supposed to hide? Where should I hide?
Hide somewhere already!
I'll hide behind the couch. I saved recently. It's the only one that had a clear hotspot. I wasn't sure if it was timed. I thought it'd be funny if it failed.
It's rare to see you all the way up here. Maybe this means we'll get a bright and sunny day tomorrow.
It's been raining for 3 years!
Well, a damn good day to you as well, masked man.
Ah, good. He uses the same nickname that I do, because I'm not remembering how to pronounce all that.
Or is trick or treat the proper way to greet a mask lover like you?
Skull mask joke?
So what brings you
Halloween
here?
joke?
If it's a treat you're looking for, I have some homemade cookies.
Unfortunately, I only accept tricks.
But tricks are for kids, Yomi Hellsmile!
I heard a rumor that you're hiding a detective. That couldn't be true, could it?
I like that the first person's perspective dips a little bit under the couch.
Detective? Whatever do you mean?
No one in this town knows what a detective is!
You think you can hide your expression behind a mask? You're as creepy as ever. If
Being
you
creepy
weren't in
doesn't
this
make me
city,
guilty.
By now,
Sort
I'd
of.
be.
What does that mean?
I'll be back. The peacekeepers are always watching you.
If it weren't for that horse, I wouldn't have spent those years at college. Okay, I love you. Bye-bye.
Yuma, you can come out now.
Cannot believe that that hiding place actually is correct. I don't know if there's another option. It seemed like the only one. It might have been fun to just wait and see if we died. There's not much to interact with. I could use some more points. Although I did level up. Wait a minute, how many experience points did I get from that? I'm suddenly just processing. Was it, like, a lot? My rank is 20. Okay, it's not as much as I thought it was. For some reason, I thought I got 1,000, and I think it's only 100 experience per level, which would have been like a massive level up. I don't even have enough for the next stamina up. Probably the next thing I'm doing? I wanna look at some stuff. Houseplant. Check out the poop. Check out the poop. You could have said shell. This is not where I came from.
Huh?
Looks like this door won't open. Focus, Master. It may look like a door, but it's actually the wall pattern. That's confusing. What's wrong, chat? Just check out the poop. Just check it out. Check it right out. Oh, good. Maybe I can make breakfast to kill this man and then escape.
Wow!
The kitchen is incredible. I wonder if he even cooks for himself.
Well,
with this kind of opulence, you know there's a personal chef somewhere in the mix. I really want to hit that level up. I'm just so close to it. I don't think there's enough things in this apartment building to do it, though. Oh, we sure can't go upstairs. It's like that one staircase in Maniac Mansion. Anything over here? This all looks very similar to that other hall, so probably not. I guess this door doesn't open. Beyond this door lies a void, the entry to which will be made no easier by the passage of time. I have no idea what you're talking about, Shinigami. Oh, what am I, one off? That's so rude. It's a valuable use of my time. Shut up about it. Night view.
Oh!
You can see Kanai Ward's cityscape below. This really is the top floor of that tower.
What?
A perfect view of the night city, ruined by rain. Oh no, I need another one. Really don't think there's another one. Unless I can go outside, which I can't. Alright, fine. I guess we can talk now or whatever.
That was the director of the Peacekeepers, wasn't it? You know him?
Our relationship isn't so shallow that he's a mere acquaintance, but I wouldn't call it a friendship either. If I must call it something, I'd say he's like a shadow. We all have our own inseparable shadows, right?
I really don't like most of the things you say to me, masked guy.
Who are you?
mask guy.
I'm just a man living at the highest point in town. Do you need to know more than that?
I guess not. I don't know.
That doesn't tell me anything.
You sure are honest.
I think it's more like you're unreasonable and unsettling.
I love this city more than anyone. And more than anyone, I worry for its future. That's why I feel so gloomy about it all. Like the sky, a cold rain falls within my heart.
Look at the face. Look at the portrait face. Why is it like that?
By the way, I hear that you're a detective. I didn't know they still existed in this town.
Technically, I had to break in by killing a bunch of people on a train. Well, technically, I only killed one of them. But it kind of feels like I'm responsible for all of them.
I'm a trainee. There are other detectives much better than me. Somewhere out there.
I'm a trainee. That's what you call someone who bust into town on a murder train.
Naturally, this means you have some knowledge about this place.
I suppose so, yes.
Even as we speak, a disaster strikes Kanai Ward. You could say Amaterasu Corporation is responsible.
I could. Should I say that?
For years now, the tragedies occurring in this city are the result of an upset of the power balance within Amaterasu.
The power balance?
The company has gotten too big. Each segment has grown increasingly independent and now lacks overall cohesion. As a result, the power structure has been completely thrown off balance. Amidst it all, the Peacekeepers took charge. They've imposed strict rules within the company and eliminated anyone who refused to obey.
It's a really confusing way for that to have gone down, but okay.
The corporation was on the brink of collapse, but the Peacekeepers managed to regain order. And I'm sure you can easily imagine what happened after that, right?
Ice cream? Sorry, I kind of just want some ice cream.
Took hold over all of Kanai Ward.
You're a sharp one, detective. They fly the banner of order and force laws only convenient to themselves on the people. Both Amaterasu Corporation and Kanai Ward belong to them now. They can overturn laws on a whim, which permitted bribes to be exchanged at a rampant pace.
Pressed the button once and it seemed like it skipped something.
This is why the city continues to erode away. So much so that this gloomy rain cannot wash it clean.
You know, it's interesting, Neko. If we had taken the extra time to stand in that popular line for meat bones, two things would probably be true. One, we probably wouldn't have been on that submarine when they fired like a absolute nuclear missile situation at it. And two, the people who may or may not all be dead wouldn't already know about the homunculus situation. Of course, the subsequent action of that would also mean we wouldn't have met Mask-chan.
I thought the Peacekeepers were like a police force, but they hold much more power than that.
Yeah, evidently. I was under that impression too. Alright, Anime, thanks for hanging out. I imagine that we'll probably save and quit once we reach, like, an end of dialogue segment. Unless it runs, like, really long.
As their name suggests, in the beginning the Peacekeepers were a single department that handled security. They changed and grew into the powerful organization they are today, because there was a need for it. After Kanai Ward's isolation, Amaterasu needed to become stronger and more ruthless to protect their secrets. Taking advantage of the corporation's supply routes, the Peacekeepers began trading with the military industry.
Wow, they sound like some dictatorship's army.
Before anyone realized, they were the most powerful force around. I'm sure they saw everyone else as incompetent.
I mean, wasn't that already true just by nature of the fact that the corporation was clearly the most powerful organization and they were in charge of it?
Which led them to believe that those with the power should rule. The shadow that hangs over this city is none other than the threat of the Peacekeepers. Their tyranny continues to this day. They will never stop, even after they've gained control over everything.
Don't they kind of have to stop at that point? What else can they take control of after everything?
So that's the situation the city is enduring.
At this rate, Kanai Ward will continue to decay. More innocent civilians will fall victim to them. That's why I want to stop the Peacekeepers on this reckless path of theirs. I do so as a citizen who loves Kanai Ward. I need the help of people like you.
Like me?
I mean detectives.
He needs detectives? Something about this sounds fishy.
I disagree. That's one of the only things this character has said that doesn't seem suspect to me.
What do you mean by that?
In Kanai Ward, the only ones that can stand up to the Peacekeepers are outsiders like yourself. That's why, in order to save this city, I need your cooperation. Detectives are the only ones who can save this place. That is what I believe. But what about you?
Save this city. Chief Yako also asked the same thing. If their goals are the same...
Maybe they're the same person. No, wait.
Hold it right there, Master. You're gonna agree just like that?
But he's asking for my help as a detective. I have to respond.
Jeez, think about it for a sec. The way he's talking, he probably works for Amaterasu.
Yeah, but he also shielded us from the Peacekeepers, fully knowing how dangerous we are to them. I mean, the Peacekeepers are the ones I'm most worried about. If he wants to defy them, again, I feel like it's not relying on other people needlessly or whatever weird thing she said before. It's like finding allies to take on a much more powerful force.
In other words, you're not sticking your neck out for an impossible crime here. It's just a spat between adults. What do you think you can do about it?
But we should at least talk to him about it first.
He's obviously taking advantage of you. You're so gullible.
Do you think Masked Guy can also see Shinigami and is just patiently waiting for this to play out?
Listen, detectives need to suspect others all the time. Besides, can you really trust anybody in a mask like that?
If I didn't, I'd get nothing done as an anime protagonist.
He's not normal. Everything feels so ominous about this.
Especially the bath and the poop.
You're better off not associating with him. Trust me on this.
It's rare for you to be so absolutely against something.
That's completely false. She was absolutely against Kurumi Wendy. She was like a fine, normal person.
I owe you a lot for saving my life, and it's true. I don't know him enough to be sure if he's trustworthy.
How long in real time do you think this awkward silence has passed where like, hey, I could use a detective's help? And then we just like have this prolonged mental conversation with Shinigami? And he's just like patiently hanging out.
Oh, this reminds me. Speaking of detectives, is number 1 in town as well?
Oh, I don't like that. Boy, this character sure has a knack for asking questions that I do not like.
Huh? Number 1?
I mean the guy at the top of the World Detective Organization. Things would go much faster if he were here.
I don't know, man. I have a sneaking suspicion that guy's probably involved in the very thing he's telling us to investigate.
Oh, you know about number 1?
Huh? Don't
He's
you?
kind of famous.
I've only heard of him recently. I don't know much about him.
I see. Well, that's no surprise. He's a shut-in who rarely appears out in public. But if you get the chance to talk to him, please ask him to come visit soon.
Okay, buddy.
Tell him his son is in trouble.
Oh, that's very cool and normal and not alarming. This character doesn't just constantly say things that make me uncomfortable. No.
Son?
I'm joking. Anyway, I've kept you here too long. If you're looking for your missing friends, you better move fast.
That's right. I have to go look for everyone. I need to get going. Thank you for saving me.
No problem. Don't worry about it. But please, consider cooperating with me.
Right. Oh, also, I should ask you this while I'm here. Do you have any idea what Kanai Ward's ultimate secret could be?
It's kind of a fair question, but it's also completely unhinged. I mean, like, you don't know if this guy's trustworthy at all. Even if he knew what the secret was, it's possible he wouldn't know it to be referred to as Kanai Ward's ultimate secret.
Or does the word homunculus sound familiar to you?
No, I have no idea. Sorry I couldn't be of help.
I see.
Now go on and look for your friends.
Right.
So that's my... Is that it? I thought there would be more emotion involved.
Now we got the old loading screen back for some reason. So is it going to be like a new district? Is that what's happening here?
Given how tall the building is, the elevator took forever to come down. Since he lives on the top level of this tower, he can't be an ordinary person.
He like took a bath in front of you as a stranger and constantly wears a mask. He's definitely not an ordinary person.
Makoto Kagutsuchi. Who is he? How is he connected to Amaterasu Corporation?
He brushed it off, but he's affiliated with them. He knows that dangerous Peacekeepers director. Not to mention, he knew an awful lot about the internal workings of the corporation.
He talked about saving the city, but is he on our side? Or could he be...
Either way, you're better off not getting involved. Let sleeping gods lie, as they say.
It's not the expression.
You sure you're one to say that?
Oh, you're right!
Death God joke!
Anyway, I'm worried about Chief Yako. Let's go back to where the detective agency was at the riverbank.
I'm worried about my friends who had a torpedo shot at them. I'm sure I could just casually go back and it'll be fine. Alright, well. I guess that, as they say, is that. Well, that's quite interesting. I feel like that's a little bit of a spoiler, isn't it? That save file shows Fubuki Clockford, who presumably isn't dead. Fair enough, I guess. What deadly sin do you suppose this homunculus is? It's a reasonable question. I'm inclined to say envy, based on the fact that he has some nebulous connection, that he may or may not be some artificial clone of us, as is being theorized in chat. And so he would be envious of us, the original or something, maybe, possibly? I don't know. Oh, thank you for that link. I will very much like to check that out, Castle. Yeah. So, tomorrow, I have not made the time to do it so far, which I should have. But I should be able to get Ghost Trick working for tomorrow's stream. That's the plan, anyway. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But if everything goes according to plan, we should be able to start that tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacific. It's the most hotly anticipated stream game for some time. Suddenly, everyone wants it. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about this installment. I thought the resolution to the case was okay. I'm neither strongly surprised nor not surprised that Kurumi Wendy actually wasn't involved. It seemed very plausible, especially given the conspiratorial nature of the case. But in the end, she's just the city's only informant who happens to know the homunculus secret of the city, or whatever. We're definitely taking things in a new direction very suddenly, in a way that I think is good. I think if we had continued on the exact path that we were doing, of just like do a case, hijinks, do a case, hijinks, do a case. Like, we were in danger of it being, like, a little bit stale and, like, feeling like we were just going through the motions to get through all the characters and then maybe finally finish the game or something. But, like, I appreciate the unexpected nature of the transition to whatever the heck is happening now. I guess it's... I feel some positive sense that we've been introduced to the last major player that we know to be involved in the game, which is Masked Guy. He is unsettling to behold and talk to. Skull Kid's probably a good name for that, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I enjoyed this part of the labyrinth more than the previous one, probably largely due to the lack of any reasoning death matches. Those are probably my least favorite part of the labyrinth, although if it is a consistent thing and not just part of the closed room murders for the Nailman case, the reconstruct a room based on no evidence is pretty rough too. That's a bad one. But yeah, those feelings being summarized, I hope you are continuing to enjoy the game. I know I am, despite the occasional hiccup. But we have one final order of business, and that is to locate the secret Squirtle. Now, if you can see a Squirtle, that Squirtle is not a secret. But elsewhere on the couch, perhaps even under or behind such a Squirtle, I have hidden another Squirtle, a secret Squirtle. And if you are able to locate that Squirtle, why, it'll be an omen of good luck for you in the coming days. So for those who haven't already, I encourage you to take a moment and consider where I may have hidden such a Squirtle, so that we may find him together, and in the process, look at all the cool things that I own. Next week, we're going to get to do some more side quests. I don't know why I'm so excited about that. I do like the side quests. At times, I like the side quest more than the main quest, which is probably about what you want. You probably want that to be sometimes true. Otherwise, the side quests, if they were always worse than the main quests, you just wouldn't be interested in them, right? Alright, let's gather all these guesses up, huh? I think the first one I'm seeing is Neko, under Pirate Eevee. Angry Octopus, Togepi, Baby Yoda, couple guesses of Squirtle. Let's go take a find out. Don't you dim on me, screen! Ah, my joints! Sure, let's start here. This is the first guess I saw. Here's our Pirate Eevee. This is from Halloween a few years ago. He's dressed as like a pirate that is also like Driftblim themed. It's very good. It's a very good. Hiding back there is Laboon! Big One Piece whale friend. I do encourage you to watch live action One Piece if you haven't done it yet. It's really good. Well, Laboon is not a Squirtle. Let's see. I guess under Baby Yoda. Hiding back there and behind our clawsome friend Carlos is Tiny Winnie the Pooh. Good little friend. However, also not a Squirtle. I guess for our beloved Rage Octopus. Look at the fire in his eyes. But no, he's got a little bunny friend. Also not a Squirtle, but a good bunny friend. Right. Under the Squirtle and his assortment of friends, you might find a Groot. He is Groot. So then, having explored much of the couch, where is that secret Squirtle? Let me show you. The secret Squirtle is hiding over here with these disguised Halloween friends. Because he's a brand new Halloween Squirtle. Just look at him. It's a Squirtle with a little jack-o'-lantern Halloween pail. He's the perfect Halloween Squirtle. I have no notes. What would you do different? He's just exactly what you want. Has like, you could definitely put something in there. It's not entirely for show. I mean, it's super small, but you could do it. I don't know what goes in there, but he's so good. I love him. I couldn't ask for anything more than a Squirtle holding a jack-o'-lantern. He's so good. But that will conclude the stream. Thanks to everybody for watching. Thank you for being here. Thanks for being you. And I hope to see you again soon. Whether that's for the start of a new journey with Ghost Trick tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Pacific, for the next installment of Rain Code next Friday at the same time, or for some other event in the distant future. I look forward to seeing you, and I encourage you to remember that you are Colossal.